How is everybody doing? Hello there, hello. Are you ready for the finals, guys? We have today one awesome beginning of a series. Zone of Control going against Ulysse. We've been waiting for this matchup for a long time now, and let me actually open up right now the screen so I can do something. There we go. So today, Zone of Control versus Ulysse starts their series off with a best of 5. The first game has been won by Zone of Control, with of course being in upper bracket. They did get an advantage over there. They didn't get any losses in those games, and of course now they are starting off with one game over Ulysse. Ulysse, of course, coming from the lower bracket, they do have quite a few games under their belt and did manage to pull it through. And of course, we're gonna need to see what are they gonna do in this best of 5 series. With me in the casting booth, we do have PotatoMcWhiskey over here. Hello there, Mr. Potato.
Hi, can you hear me just good?
I think so.
Hi, how's it going? Nice to be here. Thank you for welcoming me.
Oh my god, this is amazing, man, that you joined us. You know, you're one of those stars that everybody watches on YouTube, but nobody actually gets to interact on stream live. And I'm like, oh, I'm doing it.
Okay, don't go too far now.
Sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm really excited, of course, to have you here, and I do hope you're gonna enjoy the games today. I do know that most of the time you have been enjoying the single player community. You do an awesome analysis when you take your time. You know, do every and speak aloud every type of decision you make in the game, and so on and so forth. That is awesome. How do you do it?
I don't know. Well, I was going to ask you the same question because, to me, it's just instinct. But I was watching one of your streams, and it looked like you just understood the multiplayer game so amazingly. I watched I think it was 5 minutes of you casting one of these World Cup games, and you rattled off 5 facts that I'd never heard before because I don't play multiplayer. And I was like, this dude understands the game at a level for multiplayer that I don't.
Well,
so I think I could say the exact same thing about you.
Oh, I mean, yeah, everybody with its ups and downs, I guess. I, for example, I don't have that patience that you have. Taking my time and analyzing every little bit of thing and so on and so forth, because I guess the multiplayer scene does forces me into look at the big picture rather than anything.
Well, you know, it's funny you say that, but I don't have patience to play the game because I have people who are way.
How?
Yeah, because there's people who are way more patient than me to play the game. I learn stuff. I get bored. I just turn all my cities on auto whatever, and then just end turn my way to the victory a lot of the time.
Oh, okay. Well, in the last few days, in the last week, I've seen you take so much time to actually get everything done over there. You know, everything needs to be perfect online and so on and so forth. Back to the games, though. Let's see. The players are joining right now in the lobby. I do see we got... by the way, I didn't get a preview of the roster. So if you've seen the opening animation over there, we did have all of their team members, but not the full roster that we're going to have today. So this being a 4v4, only 4 of those 7 members do get to play. And I do see we do have on Ulysse, we got Chuck in the lobby, we got Ulhas in the lobby, JackTheRipper just joined, and the 4th member is missing right now. We are not aware of the 4th member from Team Ulysse. But from the other side, we do have all 4 of the Zone of Control members. We got Jska, we got TaskForceFish, Noob634, and Tordread. Just to say it out right here, because I guess everybody knows it, but you might not be aware of, Jska is basically like the wife of TaskForceFish, and they have a baby together that just got, brought to life a few weeks ago.
It was born.
Months ago.
Yeah, congratulations. Congratulations to them. That's awesome. His multiplayer perspective, all these other guys are kind of unknown to me.
Well, I guess I can give you a bit of a readout if you wish, but I think it's just we're gonna have to learn together.
Yeah, well, we definitely will.
Oh, I just found out the 4th member. It is Astikos coming up for Ulysse. So just to put it a bit in perspective, we do have 2 very big communities, right, in the multiplayer scene. One is CPL and the other one is CVFR. They're basically like neck and neck when it comes to members and so on and so forth and activity. And Zone of Control comes all of them do come from CPL, while the CVFR has spawned Ulysse with a bit of the Russian community, and that is JackTheRipper.
Right. Interesting. I didn't know that there was two big. I've only ever heard of CPL. I didn't know there was like another really large community that was like a big part of the multiplayer scene. I'm on a journey here today to learn as much as I can about the multiplayer scene.
Well, you come to the right place. So CVFR is mostly dedicated to Francophone communities, Francophone members, I mean, French-speaking members. So that's probably why you didn't heard of it.
Yeah.
It's Canada, it's France, and everyone from the world that speaks French. Of course, there are some players from CPL who get annoyed because we suspended them and then go to CVFR and come back and so on and so forth. But yeah, I guess that is something that we also like to see because it increases the activity everywhere.
Interesting. So there's a huge Francophone community in this game. That's awesome.
Yes.
I know Lej. Yeah, he's a legend. I know he's actually he's like one of the big guys when it comes to this tournament, right? An organizer.
Yes, sir. He's one of the helpers in CWC. He has been with us from the beginning, actually, from season 1, and tried to help us as much as possible. He actually has like a dedicated show, or did have. I'm not sure if he still has it or not. He did like a Mission Civ kind of show, like a 2-hour talk show with the members of the community and so on, analyzing strategies, the meta, the changes, the civilizations, the BBG, and like every little detail that he could put on the table.
Interesting. And you mentioned BBG there. That's Better Balanced Game, right? That's the mod that all these multiplayer games are played with, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Very cool.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I wanted to say that BBG actually was a community effort, all community effort. We had the best players from all of the communities gathered together and try to give feedback to the modders to make the game as much as possible playable until the end, because we ended up with a bit of a snag when we were playing the base game. Most of the games ended at calf timings, whoever got to calves first basically won the game. So the players wanted to do something to make the game play longer, but at the same time give the chances to everybody in the game to have like a decent chance to go for.
You want like diversity in your game. You don't want like there to be one way to win the game, and that's where the mod came from, right?
Yes. And then, other details came forward, and the players started saying, "Oh, but I don't have 2 tools in my capital. That's 2 foods and 2 production. What do I do now? I don't have enough food," and so on and so forth. And that's how BBS spawned in. Better Balanced starts with a bit more to give a certain start, but not legendary. So it doesn't give you over the top start, but it does give you that balanced approach at the beginning of the game.
It's like social welfare. You don't want anyone to like start on desert, right, with no production or food. Everyone starts with just enough to get them going.
Exactly. Even sometimes it goes as far as terraforming the land if it is not according to the specifications.
Really? Oh, so that sounds like a really advanced mod. So like, say if I were to spawn on only desert, the game will be like, nope, that's not good enough. And it'll actually spawn resources and new tiles for me to make sure that I'm not completely behind.
Yes, basically. And
that's
also
really cool.
Give you like a sheep and forest and stuff like that around you. And some of the players, for example, do some like them, some don't like those spawns in which it's terraformed tundra, basically in the north, because they're like, it's a bit weird. It doesn't have those amenities that we're used to.
Yeah. I do find like, I don't know, like playing Civ 6 for long enough, I feel like every time I load up a game, I spawn in between desert and tundra. And so I honestly, Better Balanced Start sounds amazing if I never have to deal with the fact that I'm starting in desert and tundra again.
Yeah. That's a good question I have to ask you. How many times do you actually remap before starting the game? Or do you is this a challenge for you to play any and adapt to the game as it is?
It honestly, it depends. like 95% of the time, I never re-roll. I take the first map. But if I'm like, I don't want a Tundra start, I'm re-rolling. Or if I like start on a one-tile island, I'm re-rolling. It's only if it's like exceptionally terrible, because in my opinion, in single player, pretty much any position is winnable. Whereas that's not true in multiplayer. Humans have brains, and it's much easier for them to completely snowball out of control. So like if I start in desert and you start in plains hills with deer everywhere, you're gonna win.
Yeah. Production and food at the same time does make you go crazy at the beginning. It does give you quite a few advantages.
Absolutely.
I do hope you're going to be impressed with the boys today, with their gameplay and their choices, because we definitely have right now basically the cream of the communities. And my fingers crossed we're going to have an awesome show throughout these 4 games. I'm not sure if it's going to go to the 4 games, but it's definitely a possibility.
Ooh, yeah, so we could be here for 4 games. That's interesting. Now, the thing is, I'll probably be impressed by everything they do, because there's probably techniques that are exclusive to multiplayer. I know there's been a few exploits for multiplayer. I think there was one that allowed you to save all of your culture. I think if you I know there's a couple of those things, and I think some of the balance mods fixes that kind of thing. But I'm really, really interested to see how players prioritize different things, because when you're playing single player, you can't get any of or you maybe get one of the early game wonders, but I imagine a lot of those early game wonders have like a big impact on the game. Things like Stonehenge, getting first religion could be a big deal.
Yes, indeed. Or Etemenanki, for example, or all of those, do give you, or Oracle, for example. It kind of depends on what they're going to try to go for. The players do try to have an image from the beginning of the game of how they want the game to evolve. Maybe we're gonna see some of them push towards a diplomatic victory, one of the specialties over here of Zone of Control, or go for a culture victory, and then they're gonna try to get some civilizations that are prone to getting that culture victory, or straight up brawling, and they're gonna try to get civilizations with damage on them, so they can have that little bit of an edge against their opponents.
Interesting. And I think it's also you do go into a game with like a vision of how you're going to be playing it, but you also you have to adapt, right? Because if you're playing a SimCity civ, like if you're China and you just want to build wonders all game, but you spawn next to like Norway or so, or is Norway a brawler? I imagine they go for berserkers, right? Yeah, you spawn next to Norway, you're building crossbowmen or whatever, or crouching dragons, and you're hoping you can defend, right?
Yeah, basically something like that. But still, China is awesome when it comes to that early tourism, and the earlier you get the tourism, the better for later on.
Tourism is one of those things that can snowball you a little bit. I'd imagine, especially Eureka, the boosts, they're shared when you're playing in a team, right?
Yes.
So like who gets which inspiration, and by proxy, my point there is that'll make actually tourism a lot stronger, because you don't need to take care of getting through the culture tree quite as quickly, because you have teammates to do certain boosts for you.
Yeah, indeed. And another one of those things that you are mentioning, that's a big differentiator between single player and multiplayer. Here you can shift enter, because like that game, the turn ends either by the timer or if everybody else ended the turn as well. So if you want to force, for example, a movement or a trader to move forward, you can shift enter, and then you just unready your turn and do the moves. And you're going to see that a lot. First moves, last moves are going to be definitely a thing over here.
Absolutely. And I think the cream of the crop is when you get first move and last move and first move together, so you can basically get a double attack, right?
Yes. Well, They are a bit rare, but they do happen. Sometimes, because there is sometimes a possibility that you're gonna have, for example, somebody with a weaker computer, so it loads in the turn a little later, and somebody with a very fast computer that loads in very, very, very quickly. So it's that difference actually makes balances itself out with the last moves and first moves. And we tried, honestly, we did try to make them force to start at the same time, just to make the faster computer wait for the slower one. The players just didn't enjoy that.
Yeah, that sounds...
Okay, so I do have a bit of news over here. We do have 2 remap tokens for the whole best of 5 series. So I guess if you have seen some of the games, you don't know what will happen. It's basically the players do have 8 turns at the beginning, in which they scout, they try to figure out their available land around them and their neighbors and so on. And then there's going to be a pause. We do have an in-game mode called Multiplayer Helper, which allows us to do in-game voting, and the teams will have a limited timer to choose if they want to remap or not. But they only have 2 remap tokens available per each team.
Ooh.
So that's
risky, because if you remap twice and you get a bad one, that's risky.
Yes.
And tell me this: what are some of the situations a teams might remap? Because I know, like, if I was single player, if I start on a bad start, I know when I want to remap. But in multiplayer, it's a little bit more complicated, especially in a team, because you might have 3 people with amazing starts and 1 person with a bad one, right?
Yeah. So as far as I've noticed and talked with the players, they do prioritize giving the remaps, for example, in situations in which one of their simmers, like one of the players that should be making gold, should be doing the backline simming, is caught between 3 opponents. In that situation, most of the time you're going to see the teams go for the remap. That's one of the reasons the players are trying to adapt to it with playing flexible civilizations, like getting those civilizations that can do well in both aspects of the game.
Yeah, because you only get 2 remaps, so you get stuck on that third one. You would rather be on a flexible than a simmer, right?
Yeah, exactly. So basically, we're gonna need to check out their land. We're gonna need to definitely talk about their spawn, their initial spawn. We haven't seen in a long time the players just thinking, "Oh, this is like a very weak spawn. We can't play it." It's more on the lines that what are their neighbors, what are the civilizations, their options, and so on for the late game. And of course, we do have technical remaps, which is if you can't settle 2 other cities than your capital before shipbuilding, you're gonna get a technical remap. Because we kind of think of it, you can't really do an empire. Like 2 cities is not an empire.
Yeah, I think because you can win the game on 3 cities. Ideally, you want 8 to 10 minimum. Like you can play on 3, so if you can't get at least 2 cities, I could see how that makes sense, right? Because if you can get 2 cities and then kill a city state, now you're getting somewhere, right? Whereas if you can only get 1 city, and then that just sounds tough.
Yeah, it's very tough, very tough. I do also want to point out, not sure if you saw the beginning over here or the announcement on Twitter, we do have 3 maps the teams can choose from, and there's going to be a ban phase at the beginning. So they can only pick Tilted Axis, Pangaea, and Highlands, if I'm not mistaken, and they're going to need to ban what they don't want to play.
Interesting. Tilted Axis is a spooky one, right? Because the world is essentially split by this giant ice sheet in the middle. So if you have, that one sounds hard. Because then you could end up in a situation where you've got like a 3v1 on one side of the map or a 2v2 on,
Yeah, it's definitely from my perspective, from a caster perspective, it is awesome to see it. But the players are definitely gonna have a few, specks of how do you call it, sweat coming off their, head. It's a bit of a problem.
I can imagine. I can imagine. You spawn on one of those continents and you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, but it is awesome to see because it does open up the option to go for naval brawling as well as land brawling. You can have someone in the back line, just somewhere very far away in the corner, trying to go for a culture victory, and you get to see him doing all the correct moves, or trying to get all the moves over there, while everybody else is at war. It's definitely a diverse map.
I would say that would be. I'd say it's kind of more exciting to watch than to play, because I don't know. I get stressed out when I have certain situations come to me.
Yeah. Okay, give me a second here. It looks like we got some messages in the lobby. They were saying that the okay, we're gonna have a bit of a delay here because one of the players, Zerator actually, one of the viewers needs to do his mods, but it's fine. Should be fine in a second here. It's just a matter of MPH loading. That's another thing that I guess I would like to point out. We did find out invaluable information when you're playing with mods. It is a much stable game if everybody from the game actually has the mod subscribed to and no other mods activated.
No other mods.
Yes, sometimes you can get away with it, but for example, mods that do the same thing, if you're subscribed to, and for example, we have BBG and then we got BBG Beta. If both of them are subscribed to, one active, one inactive, they might cause issues. We don't know why, but it's a statistical thing that we found out about this.
That is really interesting, because if it's not activated, it shouldn't have an effect, but for some reason having them installed makes a difference. And you know, I have noticed personally when I'm like playing single player and I have like
I think you cut out over there. When you're playing single player. Hello? Voice gun, I don't know. Potato, sometimes you do cut out. Maybe it's the button or something like that. But I do hope we can fix it as soon as possible. In the meantime, I do want to say hello to everybody on my stream. We got Pedro Lopa, Elthedion, we got Thierry SOB, hello there sir, Selakao93, Gropolis, guten Abend, guten Tag actually. This is one of those games in the middle of the day. Pizza Lord, hello there sir, Fel, yay, boa tarde, is it? No, it is something like good morning I should say. I'm not sure how to say good morning in Brazilian, in Portuguese. Spooker, hello there sir, welcome, Sneebril, hello, good to see you indeed. I am actually, I would say, very excited to stream today with Potato. What do we have here? Moise Samet. Let's see. Hello there, sir. I'm not sure why you sent that message, but anyway, you're more than welcome on the stream. Finarfin72, hello there, hello. Cynthia, hello. Jessica for Zone of Control. It looks like indeed we do have Jessica in the stream. And of course, we're waiting for all of the settings to be ready over here so we can go into the game. Hello, now I can hear you. I'm not sure what happened there.
I think my internet it died there for a split second.
Oh, okay. Well, it gave me a bit of a breathing moment so I can talk with the viewers.
Yeah, that's all good.
This is honestly, like all of this week, I was thinking to myself, how am I gonna pull this through? Like, is this like gonna be like one of those marathons? You know, like I get 10-12 hours of games going. Oh my god! But yeah, it's definitely something that I'm welcoming, because it's been a long time since a lot of us, a lot of people, moderators and admins and players and so on have worked on getting the scene ready for. And this is one of those I would say one of those moments that we need to celebrate, getting a fifth season out, getting all of the players ready to play in a marathon of Civilization 6, and then having it streamed as much as possible in all languages at the same time. Like all of this is just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I have no idea. I'm like I'm like a puppy who's like just walked into like a meat shop. No idea what's happening, but everything smells amazing. It's really, really cool, and I really, really appreciate that you're guiding me through this.
With much pleasure. It's an honor to have you here, sir. I mean, you're so well known on YouTube and everywhere else, and you have done so much in the last few years to push civilization out. I'm sure everybody knows you anyway. It's just, we're the small ones here.
No, in this, no. See, Pond, you guys are the big fish. That's how this works, right? I'm the new guy, so I'm being guided through. Which I super appreciate. Oh my god, wait, sorry. I'm gonna need you to like talk because I'm having trouble with my computer. Give me 1 second.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so it kind of feels like we do have still a few moments here. Lige is talking with Zerator and fixing up his mods. I guess they're subscribing and resubscribing and so on and so forth, whatever they need to do. And in the meantime, of course, I did want to put up on the screen over here what happened in the previous games, since it looks like we might need to talk a bit about this, the results, of course, of the previous games. Let me actually see exactly where I had that open. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So we did have from the upper bracket over here in the winner bracket, of course, a Zone of Control getting a 2-0 against Barking Gang, while before that, it does seem like, of course, Ulysse did get. Let me see. Where was Ulysse over here? Where did it go into the lower brackets? I think it was on the left side. I don't see it over here. Oh, there we go. So Ulysse was in a game with Quit Imperial, and they did manage to lose 2 games. That was in the quarter 1, in the first quarter, week 5 and 6, and of course the last week of October, from what I can see. After going into the lower bracket, they did manage to actually punch their way towards this grand final. It is an unbelievable track record they did manage to pull off over here with a 2-0 against Disco Partisans. They went forward and of course got a win against 12 plus over here, the best team from the Russian community. And then we did have them going towards, of course, the round before the loser bracket and the lower bracket final. Civ Russia did manage to snatch a victory against Ulysse, but then Ulysse came back and punch, and of course did manage to get that win. In the lower bracket finals, Barking Gang showing up again, of course, dropping down from the upper bracket in the game with the Zone of Control. They did come over here, managed to snatch a game, but couldn't actually pull the second one, and of course Ulysse did come back up into the winner's bracket, or I should say in the grand finals. Now Zone of Control did manage to get an advantage. They did have the first one up. The first game already is won by them, and we do have over here the CWC results being made as we go. You can actually check this link out. It is civ6worldcup.com, CWC season 5 results. And of course, you're gonna get this to watch as it evolves, as the situation evolves. The bans, the picks, the token status, and so on, everything will be written over here, and of course updated as soon as Paul sees the results. By the way, Dominicate, hello there, and welcome, sir. Let me see also if I can put on the screen here, over here. Oh yeah, so you're back.
Hey, yeah, I'm back. I got so I've been having a little tiny. Sorry to interrupt. Is the game actually starting right now?
Let's see. Zerator did. Okay, finally, yes. Zerator did reconnect, and it looks like we should be okay to start. Just
I just having a slight audio issue. It's only on your microphone through Discord. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix it, but it's something we should keep in mind for next time. Sorry. Yeah, back to the game. I don't think we can fix it right now. What's happening?
Can you tell me what's happening? I'm a bit blushing right now. What did I do?
It's because like I listened to your stream and you sound fine on your stream, but your voice coming through Discord sounds like really like crackly and it's just.
Well.
Have you had that happen before?
Yes, I guess. 1 second.
Did you know how to fix it?
1 sec. I guess yes. 1 sec. It's the Discord RTX because it's right now at the max. I'm watching the game, rendering everything and so on. So I'm just gonna switch from this to something else. Give me a sec.
Yeah, no worries. I just thought I would bring it up because we're going to be here for a few hours and I don't want my people to hear crackling.
Yep, there we go. Is it better now? It's only going to be probably on the left side.
It's a tiny bit better, but it's still not perfect. But we'll just live with it for now and maybe look at a way to fix it for another day.
Oh, man. I feel bad right now. It should be better. Come on, it should be better. Why? Okay, I don't know why. Okay, sure. Anyway, coming back to the game because it does look like they did choose a map. It is actually gonna be tilted axis. Look at that. We're actually being how to say? We're
Treated
taking a treat. Yeah, exactly. They did go into the active ban phase. So how it goes, it's 6 bans and 3 bans for each team. Then we're gonna have 4 picks, then another 4 bans, and then another 4 picks. And this is all to actually counteract the advantages of being picking first. That's why we did that. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, 4 civilizations were banned. We're taking off the picks over here. It looks like Japan is not going to be available. Maori is not going to be available. Also Spain and Norway.
That's interesting because in single player without the better balanced game, all of these civs are terrible. So they're getting banned in multiplayer.
Well, they did, unless you take into account Japan, which actually did get nerfed. All of and of course Maori. Actually, all of the like Spain and Norway did get quite a bit of a buff, being moved a little bit in their how to say bonuses. But anyway, it's fine. I'm gonna work through them when we do get into the game, so we get to talk a little bit about the changes. Also, I do want to point out, since this is tilted axis, you do see majority of the civilizations taken out are actually naval prone, like they're naval based.
Yes.
And
no, that makes sense.
Yeah, they're trying to get themselves an advantage, and it looks like Ulysse did manage to take advantage of that fact. Chuck is gonna go João III, Portugal over here, coming up strong.
Ooh, Portugal. Now, Portugal seems like a really, really powerful civ because they get that extra trade route capacity. Now, the trade route capacity is slightly changed in the mod because it would be way too powerful. Instead, they get +1 trade route capacity per era, right? So this is going to be a gold generating civ. It's going to be paying for our unit upgrades and infrastructure and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yes, especially if it does get a neighbor to trade to. That's one of the prerequisites over here. Of course, you can trade with city-states, but sometimes you just don't have any. So you're going to see the players try to adapt to their land, and it is kind of a casino-style civ, but not on tilted axis. On tilted axis, most of the time, you're going to have that option. Also, I do want to point out Basil II got taken off. They didn't want to handle that possible crusade on them, and it looks like it got taken out as the 6th option. And immediately after João III got picked, TaskForceFish and Jska went for Victoria and Indonesia respectively. Very strong civilizations when it comes to that naval fight. Of course, Victoria, free units when you build your harbor, possibility for half coast harbor with the Royal Navy dockyards, and then Indonesia can buy boats with faith, and of course has an amazing unit, the frigate Jong.
Yeah, the Jong that can like escort people, and they also get like tons of extra faith from just settling coastally still, right? It's interesting that somebody went for a strong naval civ, and the second team went for 2 strong naval civs, and then the third team went with a strong land civ. So that's like an interesting decision for them to make, right?
Indeed. And of course, coming back to my stream over here, I got a question for you, Potato. Everybody wants to know, what civilization do you want to play? Like, do you want to see in the game?
What do I want to see? That is a tough one. I haven't actually thought about that one. Now, off the top of my head, because it's my favorite, be curious to see how Khmer or Khmer is played in multiplayer, because it's a very weird, like, religious culture civ that has been buffed recently, I believe, although it might be different in better balanced game. Because I imagine, is Khmer popular a pick?
It's extremely popular. It's one of the strongest seamers when it comes to big maps like Pangaea or Highlands and so on and so forth.
Hell yeah, give me that simmer civ. I'm gonna be if I start playing multiplayer, I'm gonna be a Khmer dude. I'm gonna play Khmer every game. I'm gonna make a million holy sites, a million aqueducts.
No, you're gonna love BBG Khmer. You're gonna love it. It's just everything in one, amenities and food and culture and faith and everything.
Brilliant. That sounds excellent.
It looks like we do have another two bands here. Eleanor England. Is this actually Eleanor? I think Eleanor got banned. Then we do have Mapuche and Australia taken off with just one more choice available for them to ban. And then we're gonna see those picks. I do want to point out Mongolia. Genghis Khan makes an appearance over here. And of course, you do know that Mongolia got a little bit snipped in BBG. It doesn't get that instant trade route whenever it sends a instant diplomatic visibility, the trade post when it sends a trade route, but it still gets the double points for extra diplomatic visibility. So if you do manage to get a level 2 spy, for example, in your opponent's land, you still benefit from that 12 points of damage.
12 combat strength. And just to put that in perspective, 10 combat strength is enough to do a 50% more damage. So 12 is like you're two-shotting people, right?
Basically.
That's insane. That's an insane bonus, yeah. I imagine if Mongolia probably comes out the gate strong with that +3 combat strength, you rush horsemen, try to kill your neighbor, and then if it goes late, you got those easy spies. That sounds ridiculous.
Also still benefits from that Keshik. That's an awesome unit when it comes to the medieval era attack. Ranged attack, a lot of movement, coupled with the extra diplomatic visibility and so on. You're just gonna have a treat over here if it goes to that. But I do want to point out the extra diplomatic visibility works on the seas as well as on land. So we might see some +12 caravels over here.
That is a really good point. I never thought that's crazy. Now, one question I have is, I don't understand. Now, multiplayer has, especially team multiplayer, has a few different mechanics. Is diplomatic visibility shared between players? Like, if I have diplomatic visibility, does Mongolia, who's on my team, also get that?
No. It's only 1-to-1. So, like a civilization has over another civilization, you don't share it. You do share visibility, as in land visibility, like map visibility.
Interesting. So diplomatic visibility isn't shared, but you share vision and knowledge. And now Tomiris, Rome, Cyrus, and Gorgo picked. This is going to be a very warlike game, it feels like to me.
Yeah, it definitely feels like we might see something like a Diplo victory, but I do believe these players are just going to duke it out on the map. They're going to try to get their cities away from each other.
Interesting. And I see players that are... I assume you can just, like, you pick your leaders and then you put the player you want on them, like you would do, for example, playing League of Legends or Dota 2, if you're doing like a competitive pick ban situation.
Yeah, exactly. Now it seems like they're switching also. This is the moment everybody's trying to get an advantage from being higher up in the slot. This is another, I guess, difference from single player to multiplayer. The higher you are in the slots, the more priority you're gonna have when it comes to, the higher the priority you're gonna have when it comes to great people, choices, and wonders.
Oh, I see. So, like, let's say two players finish a wonder on the same turn. If you're in slot 2, you'll beat a slot 4 player, like a certain percentage of the time?
No, 100% of the time.
Oh, 100%?
Always. Yes.
Always? Jesus, that's insane.
Yes, that is one of the reasons, again, we chose to go for a 1-2-2-1-2-1-1-2 setup in the game here. So we try to mitigate that advantage they get from being higher in slots.
Very cool. Yeah. Oh man, that feels like something that should be fixed, but that's really.
Tell us about it. We have been praying for this for a long time. But I do have to point out the players did figure out ways to mitigate their own, mitigate it somehow else. Getting a lot of people getting that advantage well before, like ahead of time, knowing with the extra visibility that you get over people, maybe set a unit on that opponent's wonder, and so you don't let him build it, or try to get a project for the great people you really want, or use your faith or get all of the gold from your team to buy the great people and so on.
Interesting. Now, I noticed that they decided to put Scythia in the last spot. Now, if you're putting Scythia in the last spot, which makes sense to me because Scythia is very much so a warlike civ, so they're not going to be building wonders, so it doesn't matter if they're at the bottom slot, right?
Yeah, it's basically what he's gonna want to go for is probably generals, and that's about it, or maybe admirals. I'm not sure about his spawn, but yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. So we do have the first map over here. It looks like it's split in half, like you said, in the middle with that big ball of ice. Actually, it's not that big of an ice. And oh, there we go. We got a terraforming coming up over here.
Yes, I see it.
You see how Portugal spawning cut in half the ice on the west side and also terraformed the land.
That's actually. Not only is that a big deal for Portugal to have really good land, it's also a big deal that Team Portugal is going to be able to cut through the middle way easier than the other team.
Yeah, actually looking at this, this is one of the first tilted axis maps that I don't see with a easy connection in the middle. But of course, you can make a connection city, for example, on the deer tile and just move your units through that city. Of course, available for Portugal, not everybody else, but sure. Let me see. Okay, so we do have Mongolia across the coast. Okay, so usually my go-to method is just to talk about the civilizations in order of appearance from the top left to the bottom right. So we're just gonna take TaskForceFish over here with England, which has a bit of an issue. It looks like he spawned inland with England. This is not something that we're used to seeing. But of course, he has the option to move and settle turn 2, which is not that big of a deal. He's still gonna have fresh water settling on that 1-1. Yeah, to the bottom.
Yeah,
left.
Absolutely. And it's super important as England to actually settle coastally, right? Because it's a naval civ.
Yes, and you do want all of the advantages from the Royal Navy dockyards and being on the coast, like building everything, like getting first of all higher adjacency for later on shipyards and so on, and the gold generation, maybe even for free inquiry bonuses. You know, that juicy science that you get from the Golden Age.
Absolutely, because in single player, if I spawned like off of coast as England and it's like 2 turns to walk away, I'll just settle in place if it's a good spot, because he does have 2/2 tiles all around him. Like he would be perfectly happy there, but he I guess he prioritized that coastline settle so highly that he's willing to walk for 2 turns for it.
Yeah. I do. Well, it is 1 turn. It is 1 turn. So he moves on 1-2 and then settles turn 2, which is fine.
Oh,
it's
that's
fine.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. But still, also another thing that I do want to point out, you're gonna see a lot of the players prioritize getting 2-2 bases over everything else, or maybe amenities would be higher than that in priority. But 2-2 bases are just the king right now. That extra, you can't believe how much the players do prefer having that extra little bit of time. You know, that 1 production, which gives you in total for the remainder of the game, what, 60 more production for 60 turns, or 100 production for 100 turns. It's like, if you think about it, doesn't feel that much, but it is insane how much of a difference it actually makes.
Oh, that's it. I talk about this all the time. It's the small advantages snowball you, right? Because if you settle on a 2/2 tile, you get your monument 1 turn sooner. That means you get 2 extra culture that you wouldn't have gotten. You unlock another civic a turn earlier.
Yeah, exactly. And your tempo just goes much better all over the game. Okay, so it looks like Fish did move a little bit to the south here. We're gonna see him put his city on the coast. Let's go and take a look at the south here. We do have Noob 634, which is gonna be his ally. So it looks like it definitely is not gonna be a war between them. He has a civilization, a buffer civilization in front. Gorgo over here. Okay, well, we're gonna need to wait for Zerator to rejoin. Gorgo over here does seem like Noob 634 is gonna have a lot of gold generated. He already settled on something that's a cotton tile with 3 extra gold. He's working a 2/2 tile next to him, and of course he's gonna get to improve a diamond tile to the west side. That's 6 extra gold that he can generate very quickly. That's a very good advantage over here. And of course, with Pericles', or I should say Greece's, not Pericles, Greece's a bias of hills, you can see how many hills he has around him. Rivers for fresh water and possibility to go on the coast. What I do see... Sorry, yes.
Sorry to interrupt. We're on a pause. There's really good information about that. I'm also excited to see what he does with that diamond tile. Do you have admin access to this Discord? Could you maybe lower the voice quality of this channel and see if it
yes.
helps resolve the crackling issue? Like, I don't know. Somebody suggested that to me. They said it fixed it for them before.
Yes, one sec.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see. I'm really excited to see Greece in multiplayer because anyone who plays single player, Greece in the hands of the AI is one of the single most annoying civs, especially Pericles, because they just get so much culture. They own every city state, and like if you're going for a tourism victory and Greece is in your game, you may as well Alt F4 and just go play like a different game.
Yeah, indeed. It's I did change the thing over there, but yes, if you do manage to get that advantage, it is awesome. One of the things that, for example, Pericles got taken out because Pericles, especially late game with the meta we have right now, is just so hard to stop. But I do want to point out, of course, with the changes for Greece in particular, that extra damage, the hoplites are amazing at the beginning.
I'm sorry to say this again, but I think changing the channel quality made it worse.
Oh, come on,
sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man,
this is just so unfortunate. Oh man, we'll live with it though if we have to.
Okay.
But yeah, what were you gonna say? Sorry.
No, it's fine. I mean, I guess I can fix it with another microphone.
Yeah. I don't think it's your microphone because your microphone on your stream, whatever's coming through Discord is this kind of. It's so unfortunate. Just for people who are watching, who are asking me, Potato, will you be participating in the World Cup as well? No, I'm just casting it. Listen, multiplayer is for a different kind of player. I like to be able to play alone at home, like a kid playing with his trains. Multiplayer, people break your stuff, they invade your territory, you get ruined. I can't handle that. Okay, I don't have the constitution.
Okay, give me a second. Is it a little bit better now?
No.
No. Okay.
It's so weird. It's very weird. Have you co-casted with people before?
Yes, but no issues there. But I guess they weren't streaming. They were just I was pulling the sound. Weird. So, but I did get notice at some point that I was crackling, but most of the time it's because I'm rendering something. Not the game shouldn't interact with that badly with the stream. One sec. I'm gonna leave a bit over here the next spawn so we can talk about it, and let me put up my other microphone. One sec.
Yeah, no worries. Sure thing. I'll also try and do something on my own end here. Merci pour la cast, which I think it means thank you for the cast. I think that is the Rome player here thanking, I assume it's Zerator, who, if people don't know, is a huge French creator. He's part of the Francophone community. I'm not sure where he's from, but I think he is going to there's like a huge Civ 6 LAN going on in France, I think at the start of next year. And you can see the Rome player very clearly part of the French, actually already immediately going for a settler here, already on 2 population, and it's only what turn is it? It's only turn 7. That is very interesting. He's already cranking out that settler, and he has an entire city surrounded by not only chops but 2 production tiles. This guy is in Rome heaven right now, as far as I can tell. If I got this start location in a single player game, I would be going insane. Now, He also has some pretty good strategics. He has that all-important iron that he's going to want to probably rush for as Rome. Actually, Rome, it looks like he's got to pick up astrology. Now, that's interesting. I don't know if Rome is a sim city or a domination type civ. What? Because in my mind, Rome is kind of a catch-all, do whatever you want civ. You can either go domination or you can play Sim City because you get that really, really strong bonus of a free monument when you get to. Wait, don't units still need iron? Am I crazy?
Yes, they do need iron. Sorry, I'm back. I can't put up the second microphone, but I can definitely try to rejoin Discord, as in restart Discord entirely. It takes like a minute. Less than a minute, and it looks like we're gonna have the remap vote. Oh, give me a sec. Let's see the remap votes, and if they go on, we can go through this. I don't think it actually pulled my my choice over here, as in my audio choice. Anyway, it looks like, of course, you are talking about Rome, and you are talking about the strategic resources, right? What was the thing you asked?
Oh, I was just saying. I assume legions still cost strategic. They still cost iron in the at a balance game.
Yes, one of the reasons actually they're not as prioritized as before, because they cost so much iron. Even in a 4-player setup, the players just don't go and improve their iron, so it's very, very hard to come by. It's
really?
10 iron, each. Okay, we got the votes going, and it looks like Zone of Control did make up their minds, and I do want to quickly go through all of the response so we can... Oh, we're going to have a remap, okay. And that gives me the time to rejoin Discord. If you guys are waiting for me a minute, I do hope we're going to fix this problem.
Yeah, hopefully. Yes. I'm sorry that we're having this issue. I wish we weren't.
Me too. One sec.
It's not your fault.
Sorry guys, just a second here so I can get Discord back up. Okay, can you hear me?
Oh my god, you sound perfect. You said it's perfect.
Okay, it's better? Oh my god, yes, okay. Whew, that actually worked. So I don't know what happened there, but yeah. Okay, I turned off RTX voice. Unfortunately, sometimes, yes, it does cause issues. And
hey, it's okay. Thank you so much for fixing it. My people are probably super happy with you right now.
Yes, I do have to extend my apologies. I guess this was something that we should have tried to see earlier. But
yep, yes. This is why you do test streams. So we're getting a remap right now, correct?
Yes, this is the remap, and this is done with the multiplayer helper. It's one of the mods I was talking about, and awesome, by the way. I do have to give a shout out to JackTheRipper. He's one of the coders, the modders from our community, which did all of this, like with the UI, the user interface already integrated into the game and everything. Like this is just like gold for us.
Yeah, I say, because maps and not only balance are like super important, and the fact that you're able to remap without restarting a whole new lobby, that's just insane.
Yeah, exactly. It saves so much time. That's like 10 minutes right there.
Because I think I played with CPL a few years ago, when I think it was before the balance start remap feature was available, and if somebody spawned in a bad place, it was like another 10 minutes to get the game set up and make sure everyone loaded in, make sure everyone was synced. But the fact that you could just basically press a button, get a whole new map, that's like alien technology to me.
I know, right? It's so awesome. Like, we couldn't believe our eyes when he said, "Oh yeah, it's easy," and we were like, "Okay, sure."
Holy crap, look at this Mongolia start. If I was playing, I would settle on those elephants, dude. Oh.
Directly on the... And there we go. JackTheRipper just moved exactly where you said so. He's moving on that ivory tile. He's going to get the extra amenity, the production, and the gold.
That is disgusting. Now, that's a Plains Hill ivory. Is ivory +1 food, +1 production? Because that means that's a 2 food, 3 production capital, right?
Yes, 2 food, 3 production, yes.
That is disgusting. That is actually, this man should be banned from this game. In fact, if I was playing on the enemy team and I saw him at this start, I would ask for a remap on that basis alone. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, indeed. And he has another amenity settled to the west side, just 4 tiles away from that ivory settle. He's going to get that honey tile for extra food to work. And of course, get quite a few hills around it. That's another awesome one. Awesome.
Oh my god, we need to contact... I feel like there's some kind of bias for this player built into the map scripts. Look at this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I do want to point out, well, I guess I didn't pay attention who did want a remap, but I think it was Ulysse, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, probably the stream viewers did go for that. And we're going to find that answer. Somebody still has a remap token. They might use it. We never know.
Ooh, I think, I don't know. I mean, if I was Mongolia, I would be fighting really, really hard for no remap. Plus, it doesn't look like there's anyone too close to him. So, I mean, I know Mongolia is not a Sim City Civ, but you can still sim on them, right?
Yes, you can still sim. They can definitely go for later timings, and their extra diplomatic visibility coupled with tanks and so on is just so strong. We're gonna need to see how this situation evolves and so on. It does seem like he's far away from the coast, looking at the land around him, so it's not probably gonna be an option for him to go crazy with the coast. But I do believe he can have a few cities, at least one to trade with Portugal. Again, what I was saying, Portugal really needs a trading partner to go full crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Portugal can't do internal trade, and they have to trade over water, right?
Yeah. And I guess he has a city-state to the north. He has a city-state to the south to trade with at the beginning, Auckland and Anshan. And by the way, wink, wink, Auckland with coastal civilizations in the game.
My
yes.
God. Oh my God, Auckland? Because they still give the +1 production and then +2. Oh, Jesus.
It's going to be great. This is going to be definitely fought over with envoys, with that diplomacy. We'll see how that goes.
My goodness, yeah. If I was team Mongolia and Portugal right now, I can't remember which team is which. But if I was that team, I would be saying we're not remapping. We have like incredible start. Now Portugal did settle on a 2-1 tile, which is arguably trash in the multiplayer scene, right?
Yeah, it is, but I think he wanted the fresh water over the other options, and if he would have settled the ship, he would have deleted the +3 possible campus that he has right there. So I think he made the choice between, okay, more science and better adjacency than actually anything else. Oh, well, that extra production, it mattered more for him, the extra production. Let's see the others. What do we have in the middle of the land? Looks like Astikos is going to be here also. They're allies, by the way, Jska and Astikos. So Portugal does have somebody to defend him over here. There's not going to be an issue. The land is locked to the south, or I should say the sea is locked to the south.
There's going to need to be a canal city put there of some kind, right? I'd imagine if they want to get to the other sea or go through the middle.
Yeah, the middle looks like it's gonna be quite. It's gonna have quite a few scenes of fighting. Indonesia is over here, and Jska 1, 2, 3, and can definitely do some kind of pressure through these one-tile chokes to the west side, and we'll see who's gonna have the biggest navy over here. I do think Indonesia has her own problems. You do see Persia to the north. Ulhas over here is gonna play it, and he is definitely gonna try to stop Jska 1, 2, 3 from focusing on the navy and focus on the land against him.
Yeah, absolutely. I really do feel like this game, with the positioning of the players right now, it really does come down to what happens with this Indonesia player, because they're in like a really key position. If they can control that central ocean, they completely control the movement of troops throughout the game. Yeah,
this is going to be extremely important, and I'm certain that Jska is going to be fed quite a bit of golden resources, so she can withstand all of that pressure from Persia.
Especially...
Sorry, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, and is Persia a brawling civ? They're really good at early aggression thanks to their unique unit, right?
There are some changes for the unique unit. For example, it lost its support bonus, but it still has that ranged attack. And also, I do have to point out the trade routes for Persia do give you extra gold and culture.
Yeah.
so
I'm playing a Persia game right now, and I love that. When you get your internal trade routes going, it's so strong.
exactly, especially if you couple that with something like Magnus or Pingala internal trade routes. I'm not sure if you saw the rework on the governors.
I've seen some of the reworks for the governors. I know that Pingala is now an exclusively science, right?
Yes.
And then Moksha is more culturally based. Oh,
Yes.
domestic trade routes give 3 science. Okay, I didn't see that one.
Yeah,
That
this
is
one.
what is this? What have you guys done to this game? That's insane.
I mean, yeah, it happened. This is, I mean, it needed a bonus to counteract Magnus internals, because Magnus gets this, is the surplus logistics, the 20% growth in the city, and then the trade routes sent to the Magnus city get +2 food and production, and you increase that over districts and bonuses, and that is just so great.
Wait, so if you make Magnus, you pop him in a city, and you build like your government plaza, your diplomatic quarter, you could get like +4, +4, even +5 food production from a single trade route to that.
Yes.
That's ridiculous, dude. That's insane.
Yes. And the players actually some of the players do prioritize getting Magnus over everything else. Some of the players hate that option, and they still want to go for Moksha first, and so on and so forth. The culture, the tempo that the culture gives you is just prioritized so much.
Really? Because I would have thought that science was the thing that gives you tempo in this, right? Because you want to get that early workshop, you want to get that like +1 from apprenticeship, +1 on mines, right?
It's so you need to convert the advantages that you get from the cards that you open up through the civic tree and the governors. Basically, that's how you get the production back.
I see. It's not that the cards are like the most amazing part, but getting those early governors can make a huge difference.
Yes, that's the biggest thing over here. Plus, govern plaza, more governors, and so on and so forth. Usually, the players already have like 5 or 6 governor choices well before how to say, turn 45, 50, something like that.
Interesting. And we are playing on online speed, so in like a normal game speed, that would be like turn 90.
90, yeah. I do have to point out, Greece is all alone over here on the east side. We're coming up on turn 8, and just a few more seconds to go, and we're gonna see if they do want to remap this or not. Looks like Gorgo is gonna have again quite a few hills, a lot of fresh water, and an ally to walk nearby. He's gonna have Scythia to the south. It does seem like this is a east versus west type of a map, with a few civilizations in the middle, while we do have fish spawning in enemy territory. I do want to point this out. Fish over here with the city of Alpha. He's going to be next to Scythia and Gorgo to the northeast, where he does have this awesome civilization to play with. So, there we go. We got the
remap. Yeah, because it was, I don't know about you, but this was looking like it was favoring the western side, right? It was favoring Portugal and Mongolia and stuff like that.
Yeah, indeed. Fish over here coming up on the east side would have definitely kept busy both civilizations. He has that awesome ability to adapt to each of the maps very, very quickly, and you're gonna love Fish. Fish is one of the all-around best players in the game, and he's gonna pull off some of those moves that we're not expecting.
I'm excited to see what some of these players can do, especially, even just the unit micro is going to be way more advanced in multiplayer, because in single player, there's not really much micro. You're always attacking units that don't move and react, right?
Yeah, or just keep your units fortified, and they're just gonna die into you.
Yeah, exactly. The AI will kill itself against you.
I do want to point out, by the way, a bit of an important thing about Scythia. You know that extra damage that it gets over wounded units? Well, it works on the seas.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. So Scythia actually has a lot more flexibility than you would normally give it credit to, because I would have thought of Scythia as a land civ, kind of like Mongolia, horse-focused, but they can kind of play navy a little bit, I guess.
And also, as a cherry on top, the heal works as well. So if you kill a galley, you're gonna heal yours.
That is crazy.
I know. One of you know how it is very hard to actually have that heal across the ocean because you just don't get that option unless you're in allied land and so on. It's just with Scythia you don't have that. You just keep on attacking and try to get that heal off. Triggered.
Yeah, especially between like promotions and getting heal on kills, I would say Scythia probably is the healthiest like naval pushing civ because your units are never going to get low on health.
It's very strong indeed. So your enemy only has one choice. He needs to kill your units rather than let them heal themselves or go for the half shots. You know, like it's not worth to go for the half shots. You might as well just wait a little bit to get more damage on a unit. A triple attacking, quadruple attacking is going to be a thing all of the time. Okay, so on the new map, it looks like, again, we got a split in the middle over here. Looks like in the north part of the middle, there's going to be a connection from the west to the east. And the players might actually find themselves in some kind of naval situation. This is the map, by the way. This is the map. We're not going to have any more interruptions.
That's it.
This is it.
All the remaps are done. So
yes.
This is it. Ride or die on this map.
And I guess we get to talk a little bit more in depth about what the players are doing here. And look at that. This time, Mongolia didn't get that awesome spawn.
He must be pretty sad.
He must be, yes. And also he moved one tile to the south, so that took away his sugar spawn, even though, I mean, that's not that good either, but it's fine.
The sugar, I mean, I feel like you would need too much gold to make that sugar spawn good.
Yeah. It's just, in my mind it was, extra amenity, you gotta settle that.
It did, however, open up a coastal sugar spawn to the north, which is probably going to be a lot more useful.
Yeah, indeed. And he's going to get the silk bot, and he's going to get that extra culture and so on, the extra production. That's pretty good. Looks like also he's, at the moment, next to one of his allies. It's going to be Portugal to the southeast, and he also benefits from both strategic resources from the classical era, horses and iron that spawn next to his city. This is, I have to get this information out there. This is guaranteed by BBG, but it's not guaranteed in the rings. So basically it's guaranteed around you in a certain radius, but every spawn will be different in the first ring, second ring, third ring, and so on and so forth. So it's more expensive or less expensive.
I see. So you might have horses, but you might have it in like tier 3 or tier 2. And if you move away, you might actually move it outside of your city.
Yeah, which is kind of, you can imagine that is going to put you back quite a bit, especially if you're Rome and you want to go for those legions. Well, I mean, you need your iron, so that's going to be a problem.
Absolutely. I feel like early strategic resource timings between horses and iron and like trading those between your allies is going to be like a huge part of any sort of brawler gameplay, especially for civilizations like Rome and Persia.
Yeah, indeed. And we're gonna need to see how they're gonna get that goal going, and of course the strategic resources going. I also noticed, because he popped on the map over here to the northeast, we got Persia. Ulhas is gonna be brawling with Mongolia, and this is actually gonna be quite a tough matchup. Immortals going against Kishaks and horses.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know who has the advantage in that one. Who do you think? I guess the Mongolian player does have the support of Portugal, which is, I think, an advantage. And I think he's in an easier position to forward settle Persia, because Persia can't really back settle anywhere, can they? And they're surrounded by a bit of tundra and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was checking out here. This is going to be an extremely hard game for Ulhas. I do believe the attack won't probably come at the beginning, but JackTheRipper will try to figure out an advantage when he pops those Kishaks out of his cities. So it's probably going to be medieval 40-ish turn. We're going to need to see if Ulhas is going to be ready. I do have to point out that, of course, the players, if you do want to stop those Kishaks dead in their tracks, most of the time do go for pikemen.
I'd say pikemen fortified on hills are pretty good at stopping them, and then they just pop them, right? Yeah,
that extra +10 that you get against cav units is just so good. But anyway, we're gonna need to see how the situation evolves. We might not see a brawl at that moment in time. We'll see. But I do know JackTheRipper is an extremely aggressive player, and he's gonna try to unbalance his opponent as much as possible, or debalance his opponent as much as possible, actually.
And there is what looks southwest, or is that a city-state?
The west. What?
Southwest.
Southwest. Oh, this one, Caguana?
Okay, it's just. I was like, dude, who spawned in the ocean? No, it wasn't a play. I was like, oh my god, this person got screwed. Never mind, it's a city-state. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a city-state there. We got a city-state here. Portugal, again, doesn't have anybody to trade with. Actually, this is going to be quite a bit of a problem. Not even city-states. He doesn't even have city-states to trade with. And of course, it's going to take a while until he's going to find Caguana and break the fog with a galley or something. We're going to need probably Mongolia to get a city to the southwest and start those trade routes over there.
I was thinking he might settle on that coffee to his west on the coastline. That looks like a pretty, like, I mean, it's not freshwater, but it's good enough.
Yeah, it's good. Most of the time, the naval civilizations don't care that much about the freshwater because of the lighthouses. You already you already build a harbor. You get the lighthouse extra to housing, so it's fine. And we need to see what kind of specializing building in the government plaza they will choose.
Interesting. And also, I didn't actually know that Rome was down here too. So there's actually 3 players in a very strong line here on this western side.
Yeah, and it looks like it's 3 from one team against 1 from the opponents. So Ulhas is again in enemy territory. We're gonna need to see how he's gonna fare against JackTheRipper. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be what's here? No money, no fame, only pain.
That's a good name for a city.
Yeah, we'll see how this will evolve. Rome in the south, he does have quite a few cities to settle, but not amazing land. He does have this settle over here to the northwest, the sugar tile with a good campus with possibilities to get some adjacency from a government plaza between Rome and that city. And it does seem like he's also going to need to go for some coast.
Yeah, he'll need to do some coast just for Portugal to be able to trade too. Right?
Yeah. He can't stay away. This is one of those maps that you really can't stay away from the coast. You need to commit to it as much as possible. And what is this? How is I-Fi Ayokul spawning over here? Oh my god.
I guess I wonder if anyone has spotted that yet, because I would, like, if I was single player, I would run a city over that there as fast as possible, because that culture is insane.
Yeah, this is just whoa. When it's gonna start to blow up and increase all of those yields, this is just gonna be so good for whoever settles it. It's probably gonna be Rome. It does look like this mountain is stopping Portugal from getting a city there.
I do want to point out that there is a sheep in that mountain that would have made an amazing campus for Portugal to the left there. But it's out of range of his city, so he can't get that +5 campus.
One tile away, can you imagine? Yeah, I mean, we'll see how he's gonna commit to this. He's probably gonna try to get something there, I'm sure.
One question I have here is because of like the scarcity and importance of strategic resources in the early game, is it wise to pick 2 swordsman civs, right, that rely on iron? You know, because you're both going to be using iron, and
it's a tricky situation. No, I wouldn't say it's wise, especially if they're unique units, unless they do have like half cost. For example, Congo's unique unit, it's 5 iron instead of 10 iron, so you basically build more for the same. But most of the time, you're gonna see even Rome players go for horses rather than legions. Because they're already, they are already aware they're gonna get more horses out of their cities than they're gonna get the legions improved. So even with the extra chop and so on and so forth.
Yeah, because I thought that like Roman legion chopping out legions, if you got a good start, that feels like it's basically unstoppable if you add like a single catapult.
I know, it's just so great. Or a battering ram, and just keep on bashing those cities. Yeah, indeed, it's just so strong.
Because if you get Testudo on those legions, archers isn't going to stop that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Especially now with the catapults are so strong. The meta just favors them so much.
Now, interesting. This is England, right?
Yeah, this is TaskForceFish right next to his beloved over here, Jska 123 to the south. We do have them with a opportunity to trade on the coast. They're going to generate a lot of money, and
coastal trade routes are amazing, right? Everyone knows coastal trade routes because I think coast counts as road, which boosts the amount of gold you get from a trade route, right?
Exactly, and it does also seem like Indonesia did pick up that first pantheon with the faith that she's getting from the coastal settle.
Okay, I already love this. This is my
Yeah.
favorite pantheon in the whole game. Every time I spawn coastally, I just pick God of the Sea every time.
Oh my God! Look at this southeast. We got Torres del Paine on the coast. 4 Indonesia to settle. 4 production tiles. 4 food tiles as well next to it. Like, what is this?
Someone is hacking in this game. This is broken. How could you get this kind of a spawn? This should be illegal. Oh my God. I've never seen that much food in production. That's the sort of food in production you see from a city at turn 200. Jesus.
I know, and this is immediately Jska saw that. She scouted it with a scout from what I can see, and of course she's probably gonna get the first city immediately to the south, probably on the banana. Get that extra era score, get all of that production and food going.
I mean, the banana settle is cool, but I would go all the way down to that 3 food 4 production tile on the coast above the stone. Want all of those Torres de Pel.
So you want tiles. One amazing city rather than 2 on the Wonder. Okay, got it.
Yeah, absolutely. I want like 1 giga city. That's exactly what I want.
Well, we're gonna see what Jska is gonna choose here. She does have horses. The iron is a bit further away than she would definitely want to get. It's 3 tiles away from the capital. That's expensive. We'll see if she's gonna get it anytime soon.
Well, it will be if she does settle a banana. It will be cheaper to get it from the banana city. That's the thing.
Yeah, indeed. It's 2 tiles away. Yeah, you're right. To the east.
This is why you bring me, because I remind you of things you sometimes forget. To the east, we have.
It's Tordread with Scythia coming up with a builder soon enough. He probably went builder first. No, he did get a scout out at some point. He's behind friendly lines over here, and does look like he's also gonna need at some point to commit to the coast. I don't think he can keep away from it, but this is one of those positions for Scythia in which definitely you don't want to find yourself in. It's backline simming Scythia instead of frontline brawling.
Yeah, this seems pretty terrible because Scythia only has the Kurgan, which is like faith and gold, which are, I mean, those are good yields, but it's not what you want to be getting from your tiles, right?
Well, I got a surprise about the Kurgan. It was like we did receive quite a few complaints about it, like, oh, but we can't place them next to each other, and we can't find pastures and so on and so forth, and what are we gonna do, and heals and so on. So now they can be placed next to each other, and they can be placed on hills. So you're gonna see
that is a huge buff.
Yeah, you're gonna see quite a few amazing tiles over here for Scythia when he's gonna get those Kurgans going.
That's exciting. So Scythia Sim, not ideal, but still viable, right?
Yeah. That was one of the things that, of course, Scythia did have on it. The backline Scythia, not cool. Now with the Kurgan, maybe. It's a maybe. It's not great, but at least it can work.
Well, here's the thing. That team does need a gold-generating player, and Kurgans can serve that role, right?
Yeah. I also want to see... Let me see. Is there anybody over here as an enemy? So we got... there must be... No, wait a second. I just realized it's 4 and 4. It's east versus west. For some reason, my mind was so searching for a hotspot on the map that I thought there are enemies over here. Oh my god.
Did we miss? Oh, okay. Listen, I'm gonna blame you on that one because I'm the new player, so I can get away with this.
Yes, I'm definitely the viewers probably figured it out and I just didn't see it. So yes.
Yeah, I'm seeing if you finally lost.
Yes.
They're like, finally they noticed.
I was like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I was counting. Well, I mean, there must be an enemy over here. Where is he? And I couldn't find it, and I was like, oh my god, this is east versus west. Okay.
So with an east versus west, right, that changes our analysis quite a bit. It's like an empty continent between them. So is that empty continent going to be important for them to claim, or is this going to be exclusively like, okay, both teams are going to sim until they have like late game units?
It's probably going to be simming until they have late game units, and they're going to try to figure out how they can block the chokes or go through them. So late game options are basically threefold. It's either going to be submarines with ironclads or destroyers, or battleships, of course, the naval powers. We might see some tanks, artilleries with railroads being brought through this continent that you're speaking of. So yes, then they will need to get military engineers over here and so on and so forth. And the third option, and I think the most likely, it's going to be probably bombers and nukes.
Yeah.
We're gonna need to see how this situation evolves. Now this is a bit awkward for both teams. Both of these teams did go for brawling civilizations, or I should say, those naval fights, and they were trying to get that advantage from those bonuses instead of going for simming. And now they're forced to go simming, and we're gonna see them try to go for culture, try to go for diplo, and probably not science, but yeah, it's gonna be a bit of tricky. How will we see Mongolia over here sim for culture or science?
Yeah, that's really interesting because they were probably expecting one player to be a sacrificial lamb on the enemy continent, and that's why they needed someone to be ready to fight, right?
Exactly. And it does seem like, I mean, it would have been on the other maps. We would have definitely seen some moves at the beginning. Now it's just gonna be a bit us. Well, I guess that's better. Anyway, we get to talk a little bit more about all of the civilizations, the options they have, and so on, like a straight up analysis, instead of watching all of the time the action.
Yeah, absolutely. And it does look like Indonesia settled on those bananas. So you called it. Absolutely. They're going to go probably almost certainly going to get 2 cities on that. I don't know. I feel like it's who do you feel like is in the strongest position as an individual player right now? Like who had the best start?
I think Indonesia has one of the best. And let me see over here. Yeah, Indonesia has one of the best starts. I don't think they can even compare all the other ones.
Yeah, like because that's how I felt. I felt like Indonesia is like so far and away above anyone else right now. So does that mean that the weight of the game kind of goes onto Indonesia's back right now? That they're going to have to be the carry?
I don't think so, because looking at Indonesia, yes, she does have a good start, 3-4 cities, maybe 5 cities to the southeast over here, but it's gonna be a bit of an adventure to actually get all of the west and her simming going. Even if you're talking about settling on the islands, which is probably gonna be her option, you don't have a lot of tiles to put your districts on, like the campuses, the theater squares, and everything that you want to get. And that's going to cause some issues. Yes, these can be workable cities because of God of the Sea, with the extra production coming up on the fishing boats. But other than that, it's a bit awkward.
Absolutely. This is a problem I run into all the time when I'm playing my games is you like coastal cities are so amazing with those harbors. But man, you can only place like 2 or 3 districts before you run out of land. It's just really tough.
Yeah, indeed. It's this is one of the challenges that the players will have, and maybe we're gonna see actually England over here go for the northwest, go for this continent, like you called it. He does have quite a bit of land to settle, and it's not bad land from what I can see. So honestly, if, looking at the mid game, probably England is going to have a much better expansion. And I do have to point out that Gorgo can definitely go for a lot of culture if he wants to. Noob over here, free simming to the top right part of the map. It's just gonna have acropolises everywhere, and gonna try to get those guams, as we like to call them, the great writers, artists, and musicians.
Guams, yep. Now, the interesting thing here for Gorgo, I just want to point out, I don't know if you've noticed the Fountain of Youth there. Now, is when they decide to start working that tile, could have a big impact, right, on how quickly they climb up that tech tree.
Yeah, yes and no. So this is actually trying it out for a few times. Working this tile is a bit awkward because you don't get the food, you don't get the production, right? So if you, for example, place a city there and you just keep it working, it's just not gonna grow, right? You need some other tiles worked first, so you can get the benefit from that for extra science and for faith. What it can
you would need like wheat and fish first, like 2 or 3 before you start working it.
Exactly. You need a lot of food to actually counterbalance this. You can get a free pantheon though. That extra 4 faith, immediately going for 12 faith for a pantheon on online speed. So basically, you're not gonna need to use the God King card, the +1 production, +1 faith. So it helps out in that aspect.
Very true. Because like from my perspective, I see that tile, and in my mind, I'm like, okay, I see this, and this is like it's like a free district. It costs me food to work like the specialist tile, but it gives me really, really good returns. So I would be looking to get like maybe a farm triangle in there or some other source of food so I can keep working production at the same time. Because in my mind, you know, I probably wouldn't work that tile all the time, but let's say I was going for apprenticeship, I would plug that tile in because the second I unlock apprenticeship, it's +1 production on every mine, right?
Yeah, indeed, and it's definitely going to be something that even Greece will try at some point. But you can see that he's not spending that gold on the tile. He doesn't.
No, early game. I think early game it's a trap, like you said.
Yeah, he's getting more settlers out. They figured out their east versus west. So now, oh, by the way, we can switch points of view. By the way, let's see. So.
Oh my God, that is awesome.
Yeah, and also they took a city here for fish, and they took out Yerevan with the help of Greek units and English units.
And they took out Yerevan because A, Yerevan isn't a very useful city-state, and B, having an extra city this early is a big advantage.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward that it's inland, but I think fish can just plop one of those harbors out and it's fine, 3 tiles away.
Yeah.
Let's see the other vision.
It is off of fresh water, which sucks, but I mean...
Yeah.
They should be able to make it work.
Yeah, it's fine. You know, even the monument, the free monument that the city built you, it's fine, you know. And I'm not sure if it does have a granary or not. Let me see. Oh, it does have a granary. So
that's big.
Yeah, that's great actually. It's burning right now. You can actually see it. This.
But yeah, you can see the burning granary. But like you said, I do want to see the other team now that you mentioned it.
Okay, let's see what their vision is. We got 3 cities for Persia going for builders right now, and of course the internal trade routes. We got Mongolia already putting that coastal city to the north and trying to get the vision. Portugal 3 cities. Oh, look at those traders going towards somewhere. Where are they? Oh, they're going actually to Korakoro. Are they? Let's see. They are Korakoto actually.
Wow. So that was so important to get those trade routes up that they rushed Mongolia to the coastline.
Yes, exactly. So I mean that's a lot of gold. Looking at the yields, for example, over here we do have Chuck already on 21 gold a turn from those trade routes.
Oh my God, he's going to be able to buy tiles, buy builders, buy traders. He's going to be so happy. I notice he's not actually going for more settlers right now. Now, why is that? Because he secured a golden age, or what is he? What's the thinking there?
I think he wants to chop a few tiles before he's going to put down districts. And 1 second, I think I have a middle student over here. There we go. We need to mute the middle student.
Yep, I just grabbed him. Yep.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so at this point, usually the players go for 3-4 cities and then start to settle down a little bit because they need to build their monuments, they need to improve the tiles, and then start chops going to improve more tiles. You're gonna see a lot of the players do prefer to wait a little bit for a builder or buy a builder to benefit from the chops from a forest rather than putting down a district on the forest and destroying it.
Yeah, because that extra production is huge, right? You pay 25-30 production for a builder, but a single chop pays you back 20-25 production, right? So
yeah, basically.
That's profit.
Exactly. So there's going to be a tempo over here for the players. They get a builder, they do 2 charges, then they chop another builder and so on. That will be kept by quite a few civilizations for some time. Except Rome. Rome is a bit of a different beast over here because it does benefit from that monument.
The free monument that they get at Code of Laws, right? Yeah,
so the tempo is a bit skewed. But you do see he immediately settled, by the way, on Fire Yoku. This was like, oh, I gotta settle that. This is like candy, you know?
Yeah, I mean, just look at that food yield. He's going to be able to grow that city so fast. However, the one problem he has is there's no fresh water nearby, so it's going to grow slowly until he has a granary and an aqueduct in there. But Rome, he's getting even more advantages there.
Exactly. He's already on 12 culture a turn. We got TaskForceFish at 11 culture, for example. And I'm not sure exactly how he... Oh, he's also going to get more moksha implanted over there.
12 culture per turn on, what is this, turn 25 or something?
Yeah.
That is insane culture. He is absolutely storming his way up through that culture tree.
Yep. I did also notice a wonder here. We got the Temenanki placed in Mongolia, and it looks like he's gonna have this land. Actually, if he does manage to get the Temenanki with maybe some Liang, it's gonna be unbelievably great here. Doesn't have a pantheon yet. Oh, he just chose it. It's Lady of the Reeds and Marshes.
Oh no,
and
that is so strong.
Yeah, look at that. All of this land just got that extra production on it, and he's gonna get the extra from Temenanki, and it doesn't look like he's going Liang. He's going Moksha actually first. So we're probably gonna see some extra culture here rather than the extra production.
So let me just ask here, because in the Civilization 6 base game, has Lady of the Reeds and Marshes been changed?
Yes, in the base game I believe it's +2 production for floodable terrain or something like that, but it doesn't include the marshes.
Like deserts and marsh only, whereas I think in this it's all floodplains, right?
Yeah, this is all floodplains, but only 1 production, and the marsh includes the marsh tiles. Yeah, I guess the first one.
Yeah, so it's a little bit less powerful, but way more flexible.
Yeah, it makes this land amazing, right? It was so bad at the beginning, but now this can actually be viable.
Very, very cool. Yeah, because my first instinct on that city was that it doesn't have enough floodplains to make Etemenanki like super viable. But if Lady in the Reeds and Marsh works on non-desert floodplains, then this starts to look really good, because he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 floodplain tiles, which is quite a few. That makes it super viable. It is kind of sad, because if he had moved down 1 tile, he might have had like 9 floodplain tiles.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you open up the game, you just don't have that vision, and then What can you do? You make a choice.
We all know the joy of like you get like 20 turns into a game and realize that, you know, if you'd moved 1 city 1 tile to the right, you could have had like an amazing thing, and you just quickly reload and pretend.
That didn't happen. Yeah. 6 more turns until the Temenanki is gonna be finished here. Let's see if anybody else. There was a question here on my stream, what kind of pantheons we have, so I'm gonna quickly go through them. Lady of the Reeds and Marshes on the northwest of Mongolia. We got City Patron got its own Portugal. That's gonna give him 50%, by the way, more production towards the first district of his city. So that's
powerful.
Yeah, and he's probably going for harbors here. I'm pretty sure he's going for harbors. We got Rome with the God of Craftsman, extra production on his strategic resources, the horses, probably the iron, and so on and so forth. But at the moment, doesn't look like he has any opened up. I don't even think he has them tapped. Oh no, the horses he has tapped. Okay, let's see here. We got the God of War and Plunder for England. 1 more admiral point, the general point, and the merchant point.
Interesting.
Like religious settlements for Ulhas. Even if we were thinking that he's not gonna have a lot of land to settle, he did go for that extra production towards the settlers, and of course he's gonna get more tiles around his cities. Yeah,
because of the passive culture expansion, right?
Yeah, exactly. With the new religious settlements in BBG, you get 2 extra tiles, just like Russia. You just settle the city and you get 2 of them.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, it is. Especially if you don't want to spend gold. God of the Sea here for Indonesia. And we got the God of Open Sky for Scythia. He's going for that extra culture on the pastures. Very important, by the way. You just see that he's going to try to keep them as much as possible alive here. Already putting down those kurgans.
Oh my god, those kurgans look amazing in this mod. Yeah. 2 food, 1 production, 3 gold, 2 faith. I would work that tile.
Yeah, I'm waiting for this one. This is going to be 2 production and 3 faith and 3 gold, but it looks like he's probably waiting for that tile to be chopped, and of course get that extra builder.
Yeah, I'd say jungles are kind of like a bit of a thing that players have to keep track of, because you can't chop them until bronze working, which then also unlocks iron, and usually you want to delay iron so you can maybe place your good campuses, because you don't want to get your campus screwed by iron.
Oh, right? I agree. I can't say how many times I've seen +5 campuses blocked by iron tiles.
If there's ever a question, like if it's every time I play the game now, right? If I see a place that I want to put a campus and I haven't taken animal husbandry and it's like a flat tile, I'm like, there's a horse there. I'm not researching horse tech ever until I get that campus down. You know what I mean?
I know. I actually was looking your streams a few days ago, and you're like, okay, I'm putting this here, and you had that mausoleum pre-placed, and then you were like, no, I'm not going. Well, that's what I need to take it first. Yeah, I totally get it. It's just it messes up everything, and that is the biggest problem.
Oh, it's game ruining. Now I see they took the appeal pantheon
Yeah.
on.
This is
God, I
the
forget
new
the name of
Earth
it.
Goddess, right? And this is gonna give him one face for charming and breathtaking appeal tiles, which is a bit. I do have to say this is a bit has its pros and cons, because when you're gonna start chopping, and this is 100% gonna happen at some point, you're gonna lose the appeal. The forest gives you the extra appeal over here. He doesn't have mountains, and this is gonna be quickly how to say, going down as a bonus.
Yeah, but even so, having that little bit of extra appeal early game, because it's basically, early game, the appeal on tiles is so high that it's basically +1 appeal per population, or +1 faith per population until you start chopping.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
I see a few problems. I'm sorry. I see a few problems. So we got 2 more turns, and the players do need their golden ages, and I just opened up the window over here so we can see the era score. 5 players didn't manage to get the era score points.
ooh, is that normal? Like, how many people do you usually see miss it?
Or like none. And it's like it's a very how to say, it's a very big problem if one misses it from a team. Having a full team miss it, this is just not usually happening.
Ooh.
I do see. Okay, we do have one more turn. This is, what this happened. They didn't meet each other, so the extra 4 points because they would have met each other, and of course declared war. And this would have tipped them over the era score threshold. So now Noob634 needs to figure out a way to get his going. He's getting a hoplite. Oh, it's not gonna be in time. He has 1 turn, and as you can see, the hoplite is 2 turns off in the city of Sparta. He spent that production into getting a settler instead of getting. Oh, okay, never mind. That's it. That's the war. They just found each other.
Oh my God, that is. How did they find? That's insane. That was like. Because it would have been huge if they hadn't met each other, right?
Yeah, that would have been, oh my. So you can imagine all of these players, especially benefiting from pen, brush, and voice versus not benefiting from pen, brush, and voice is just so big of a difference. So yeah, especially if you have that bonus for like 20 turns, I can only imagine how hard and it would have been for them to go through that.
And like one team completely missing all of their golden ages. I'd say that team is like breathing a sigh of relief for the fact that they got by the skin of their teeth right there.
I know, and what's funny? TaskForceFish was from the team that actually had the points, except the Noob634. So he did that, so he gets Noob634 the golden age. I don't think he realized his opponents, the whole team, didn't have enough points.
Oh, see, that's the power of the fog of war. You will make a decision to help your ally and not realize that he actually just threw the game, helped the enemy team.
Exactly. Oh my God, for one of his allies. Anyway, we're gonna need to see how this will evolve. Now we do have the era, and of course the players are gonna need to choose their era. Options here. We got pen, brush, and voice for Tordread. He's gonna get the extra culture, and this is a bit changed, by the way. It's 2 culture and 1 gold for each specialty district, and you get the inspiration 10% off also.
Whoa, pen, brush, and voice. That seems insane.
Yeah,
and I assume everyone takes pen, brush, and voice, right?
Most of them. Yes, most of them will probably take pen, brush, and voice. Some of them, I think, might take monumentality. Let me actually see if monumentality. That's why he picked Earth Goddess, so he benefits at the beginning from some faith generated, 11 faith per turn.
Wow, okay, 11 faith per turn. Nice. And so monumentality, it hasn't been changed much, right? It's basically still you can purchase settlers?
You can purchase settlers, and they're 10% cheaper. That's the biggest thing. So it's 2 movement for all builders. First of all, you get like 4 movement builders, and second of all, you get 10% off the faith and the gold for builders and settlers.
Brilliant. That's excellent. So I feel like if I was going for a strong faith early game, I would definitely go monumentality. But I can see how pen, brush, and voice, especially with these changed governors, that's like, especially because right now, this is when you start building your districts, right? You get all your cities, you pop down a few districts, pen, brush, and voice, boom, tons of culture, tons of gold, and then also tons of the yield from the districts you just built.
Exactly. And I do want to point out, most of the time, especially in war situations, pen, brush, and voice is probably the go-to because of that extra gold that you get. So basically you get like free cost districts, and you can sustain an army, while with the other ones you just have gold problems. Monumentality, for example, is very, very gold problematic.
Yeah, especially because every piece of district or building, that all, there's not a whole lot of things that give you gold in Civ 6 aside from water and districts, right?
Yeah. Let's see. Jska 123 did go for pen, brush, and voice, even though she's putting down quite a few harbors over here, already getting those trade routes going. I did notice, but I didn't speak it out loud. We got Scythia getting half of Torres here. It looks like Tordread is going to benefit from trade routes to Indonesia. And
I don't know if I would let my teammate have half of Torres. I would take all. Dude, you're not having half. This is my Torres. Get out of here.
Yeah, I think this was for trade routes, actually, more than anything else. So they're probably going to... another thing, of course, to take into account is the gold that you generate with Reina. It's the 4 gold per turn for each foreign trade route passing through the city bonus. So basically, if both of you put Reina in the cities and then just walk trade routes through those, it's just gonna make it's gonna generate so much gold. And
I would really appreciate it if someone would take a screenshot of this and then post that Bugs Bunny our Torres meme.
Yeah, indeed.
Post that to the Discord.
Okay, what do we have here? We got TaskForceFish in a free inquiry. He did go for the extra science for his harbors and already putting those Royal Navy dockyards on the map here. He's on 22 science with 22 culture. Faith of culture coming up from his Moksha. He did insert it in his capital, and we got the connoisseur ability stepping in. Of course, +1 culture for each citizen with 7 pop city. Yeah.
Nice, very strong.
Very strong indeed. It's one of the, I think at the moment is leading the way here. Look at Fish go. He's definitely figured it out exactly how he needs to play this, so he's in the lead. We got also Ulhas on the other side with pen, brush, and voice, and I'm a bit surprised about his science. Oh, he did go for Magnus first. Okay, that's why. He's going Magnus first in the capital, starting to get those trade routes between his other cities and the capital, getting those bonuses.
What is his science? Sorry to interrupt. What is his science?
He's on 7 science and 13 culture. Yeah,
7 is quite low, right?
Yeah, it is, and I think it's twofolded here. First of all, he rushed the commercials, and second of all, he did go for the extra 2 settlers instead of going for anything else, like everyone else, as in getting more builders, trying to chop, trying to get more advantages that way.
Yeah, because I was going to say, because I feel like, culture seems like the big yield early game, but that doesn't mean you want to neglect science, right? Because it's multiplayer. You fall behind in tech, you're behind 1 unit upgrade, and you lose a war.
Yeah, indeed. I do have to point out something, by the way. You know how the district cost is related to you going and opening up the tech and the civic tree? Well, the players do sometimes prefer to stay low in both of those outputs and then expand at some point. Like they just explode at some point in the game with multiple cities. They already got like 10 cities, and then they start to put down campuses, commercials, and so on and so forth.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's almost exclusively how I play the game on Deity. I usually even place a district until turn 100 in most of my games, and then when I have 12, 13 cities, it's go time.
Yeah, there was a question here on my stream about the great admirals, or I should say about the great people in general. It looks like we got England, of course, with God of War and Plunder getting 10 great admiral points a turn. It's probably gonna go through these like they're nothing. We're still at the 30 points for admirals, and of course there are like 3, 4 of them.
Sorry, I was responding to someone in chat. What were you saying?
We're watching we're watching the great people screen here, and I was saying that England is gonna go through the early admirals like they're nothing. Yeah. With 10 points a turn. Let's see.
Is there a particular admiral that like stands out that people like really want to fight over?
Yes, actually there are a few of them. The Gaius Tullius admiral, the one that gives you the core, or I should say the fleet.
Oh yes, it turns one of your boats into a fleet, right?
Yes, Rahendra Kola, which gives you, or I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Is it Rashendra or Rahendra?
Yep.
It's the +3 admiral, and then you get the Santa Cruz Armada admiral, extra visibility admiral. I don't know how to.
The diplomatic visibility admiral, yeah.
I don't think we have the diplomatic visibility. It's the extra visibility for the boats. You get like
+1 vision range.
Yeah, that one. I don't know what's his name. Well, yeah, there are quite a few of them. In science, I don't see anybody making those campus points and the great scientist points, and of course it's okay because Hypatia is not first. That's another one of those scientists that everybody craves for. Hypatia, Newton, and Einstein are gonna be the ones that we're gonna need to keep on watching.
Absolutely, and it's interesting because not many people went for early campuses. I know Rome has 2 placed, but I don't know if he's finished them. But if Hypatia was there, he probably would finish them. He's actually building one right now.
Yeah.
But I feel like if Hypatia is the first great scientist, you prioritize that a lot higher, right?
Yeah, indeed. And most of the time you're going to see players try to get a project out, like get a campus and then get a project so he secures Hypatia, just like you would secure like a general or something.
Yeah, like you would secure a religion early game. Like if you're the last guy, you quickly drop down a holy site, you pop out a couple of projects, boom, 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 you've got your great profit.
Oh, yes, and look at this. We got Astikos benefiting from all of that improved wonder. Hi-Fi Yokul exploded at least 2 times.
Look at that.
And I do have to say that Liang also got a bit of a facelift over here. Liang has been reworked almost entirely, right? Well, except the first one. All builders trained in the city will get the +1 build charge, but then you do get agriculture, +1 food on all of the city's revealed resources. So you can go tall if you want to, with a lot of resources.
Very strong.
And he used this, Liang, for the left tree. Reinforced materials, +1 production for floodplain, volcanic soil tiles in the city. And also cannot be damaged.
Can't be damaged. Yeah.
So basically, he's gonna not be afraid about. He's not gonna be afraid about Hi-Fi Yokul's exploding.
Because I feel like if I was this player and I was like making YouTube videos about this tournament, I would like take a screenshot of Ayafakul or whatever it's called, and that would be like my thumbnail. It's like, I got this insane mountain in multiplayer, dude. It's crazy how strong that is.
Yes, it is amazing. It is amazing. And of course, I also want to point out the classic Rome strategy over here. He has a lot of cities out. He's trying to benefit from that extra monument, free monument from his civilization leader's ability, and from what I can see is now going for the campuses so he can get that pen, brush and voice going. I do see him stopping a little bit, and we're probably going to see another expansion phase soon enough. The big problem here is the land availability. So he only has like, I think 2 more cities to the east, a little island here that I'm not even sure he's going to settle, and 1 more city to the north, and that's about it. That's where he's going to stop, at 10, 12 cities maybe with the islands.
Yeah, he doesn't have enough land to go mega wide like you would normally want to.
Yeah.
And that's Rome in a nutshell. You get as many cities as you can get away with, right?
Exactly. And if you don't need to make units, that's just going to be your priority for the rest of the game, getting cities out.
Brilliant. I am curious. I see a lot of people pre-placing districts, but I also see that some of them aren't pre-placed districts. And now pre-placing locks in the price of a district.
Yes.
But it looks like, is that a bronze working thing? Can he not just harvest that yet?
Wait. Oh, this one? You're talking about the stone? Or
yeah, because it looks like he has
one?
another 2. He has another 2 really good, 3 really good campuses that he wants to place. Or is he waiting for the harvest?
I mean, I would say he's waiting for the harvest, but honestly, at this point, I'm not sure exactly. Maybe this is like a misstep, like a he missed it. He didn't make the choice immediately, and then he forgot about it or something.
Or it could also be that maybe he just doesn't want all that many campuses.
Yeah, or he yeah, I'm not sure. I would definitely think that he wants the campuses.
Okay. Well, that's why you're here, because I don't know this. You're the expert, so this is great.
he's putting, like, he's already put down 3 campuses: Rome, Cume, and Achillea. I would think from Puteoli he's probably gonna try to get a campus also. He has this stone tile, but this is 100% you're gonna want to chop this way before you want to do anything in the city.
Stone chops are just insane, right?
Yeah, exactly. Even if you just get another builder, it's still very, very worth.
That was one of my favorite ways to play, where you use 2 charges of your builder, then chop out another builder, and you just improve every tile that way.
Yeah, exactly. This one in Arpinum, I'm not sure why he's putting this off. So I'm thinking either he wants to put a commercial here, which again he should have the technology for, or he forgot about it. Like 100% forgot about it.
Because don't forget, when you're playing Civ, even in single player, it can be hard to remember everything. But if you're playing in multiplayer and you have 1 minute and 30 seconds to make all of your decisions, you're going to make mistakes.
Oh, 100%. It's you're gonna see these players try to adapt as much as they can, and the experience comes so much into play in these competitive games, because the players did a lot of mistakes in the past and figured out, okay, I'm not gonna do this, but I'm gonna do this because this always works, you know.
Yeah. See, I totally understand that, but I kind of, because my problem is I realize that I make a mistake and then I just make it over and over again.
Yeah. I mean, it happens, you know, like what can you do? But when you're getting punished for your mistakes every time, then you learn. Then it's
that's true.
That's one of the things that the competitive community does make you be better. That's how it makes you be better, because you're always going to get punished by your opponents. It's the computer doesn't really have that edge.
Yeah, absolutely. Because one of the first times I played with the Armchair Admirals in Civ 6, I was so that they see. And then I think it was Lewis. He like walked his units past my first city to a city that didn't have walls, and I was wait, you can do that? Like I have now, from now on, whenever I play multiplayer, it's like walls in every city. I thought I put walls in the city at the front, and I was like, I'm fine. He's not going to do anything. He just walked straight past it and murdered me.
Yeah, indeed. That's a problem. That is indeed a problem. The city's strength. Also, we do have a brawl here. TaskForceFish getting a few boats out against Persia. Well, I guess he already got those there. Might as well just use them to refocus Persia on building some defenses here. And I do have to point out that it's about the strength of the cities. It's very important to get the units with higher strength, right, for all of your empire.
Yeah, you want your swordsmen out. You want your musketmen, those high strength melee units especially. And when you get your walls, you want your crossbowmen and your field cannons and stuff like that. Exactly. Naval range units also upgrade the range strength, right? So like your frigates and your quadrireme.
Yeah. I also I just noticed this. So it's not enough that Fish already gets the most points for harbors. He's for those great admirals. He's even making projects for more of them. So he's getting Zheng He. He already has Hanno the Navigator. He has Gaius Dulius, the Foreign Fleet one. He has Artemisia, the +1 promotion. So basically, when
my god,
yeah, he's getting all of them. Like, oh my god, this is And I do want to point out that Zone of Control just got control of this, and I know it sounds weird, over the passageway.
Yeah, because they have that Cardiff, and I think Cardiff is going to be a really key city this game, because it sits right in that pass, and whoever is in control of it can probably do a lot of work.
Yeah, and also as much as TaskForceFish keeps the units of Persia in his land, he's gonna get more reinforcements. I don't see anybody actually getting more cities here on the coast, even though, yes, we do have behind him Mongolia. The Mongolia at the moment has other priorities, getting settlers out and more cities and so on. From what I can see, Portugal also getting more settlers out. This is the second expansion phase, as I like to call it. So the first one, 3 cities at least, 3 to 5 cities, and then you get builders, improve your resources and so on. A second expansion phase is when you try to go towards 7 cities, and the third one would be go towards 10, 12.
Yeah, and that's kind of like, it's 3 to 5, then like 7 to 9, and then like 9 to 12.
Yeah, exactly.
That's interesting. Cool. Because I was going to actually comment on the fact that Portugal only got 3 cities and didn't get any more than that. But I think they got a few districts. I think they have harbors in every single one of their cities now. And now it's expand time, we're saying.
Yeah, I
And
wanted
this is
that those trade routes wanted to get the economy going.
Yeah, and this is a pattern you'll see players do a lot, right? And it'll be entirely dependent upon their start location. So Portugal, pretty good naval civ. So, does he have a Mahia Vara right there in the city?
Yes, that is.
That
wait,
free tech.
that's no, that's the trading post. Sorry, that's trading post.
It's a trade for the +1 gold in all of his trade routes, right?
Yes. So he's already on 81 gold a turn with only 12 science and 31 culture. He did go for pen, brush, and voice. That's why he's getting the extra culture along his gold generation of the harbors. And looks like settlers are the way to go here. But look at that. Finally, he's going for some harbor shipping projects. I think they figured out that literally England will get all of them. So they want at least one of them.
Yeah, because England is just popping off. What is England up to 5 great admirals now?
Yes, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
My goodness,
four. Sorry, 4. It's 4. Themistocles was taken by Jska, so it's like 5 for their team, 4 just for England.
Yeah, if I was Portugal, I'd be like, okay, guys, I'm gonna have to work some projects here because they're taking all the great admirals.
Well, there's still the +3 one. It hasn't been taken, and from what I can see, of course, the next one is the extra visibility one, the sight range.
Now, one question I have is, you know how great people from a future bit more expensive. Is it the case where you see people often like trying to punch through that expense, or like? Is it when you get to a new great admiral that's really, really expensive, then they'll spend a bit of time like doing a bit of infrastructure until the era ticks over?
It's more toward so you should have the infrastructure if you want to go for those, but if you don't have the infrastructure, you're not gonna see players go for the infrastructure just for one single that just popped off, and they're gonna directly go for the projects. They're not gonna build more. Like, for example, if you want to merchant, you're not gonna spend time to get the market out for 1 extra point. You're just gonna make the project so you get 30 points directly. I think that was the question. Did I misunderstood it?
Yeah, no, sorry, I kind of like, somebody sent me a message and then that like took away all of my brain power.
It happens to me. I'm trying to pay attention to everything as well. So yeah, that's why I asked. Was that the question? I think that was the question, right?
You know what? I'm pretty sure you answered it. I'm just gonna have to like roll with it and pretend that I'm not easily distracted.
It's all good. So we did have 2 more civilizations that we needed to watch their bonuses. Pen, brush, and voice on Cyrus, and of course JackTheRipper over here with also pen, brush, and voice. I do also notice that JackTheRipper did go a little bit tall, so he didn't get his second expansion phase as soon as the others. Now he has a few settlers out and about, and he's gonna go for 5 cities. He's keeping another settle over here on the west of his Koto, former Korakoto named city to the west. And getting markets out. Looks like they're definitely trying to get their economies going, and in the meantime benefit from that pen, brush, and voice bonus of culture. Don't see a lot of science on them though, and this late game might be a problem. I do see Jska also getting more boats out, 152 strength, 18 science with 38 culture. I do want to point out that of course she's gonna want to get the Jongs out, and I think they figured out they can go for some timings over here. Caravels plus Jongs are going to be extremely strong, especially if they couple them. So this is going to be quite interesting because, you know, Fish is right next to Jska in real life. It's not only in game, but in real life. And they can coordinate much better than the other players.
Yeah, because you can directly look at the other person and talk to them like immediately.
Yeah,
that seems like a pretty big advantage. That's why a lot of teams will, in pro scenes like League of Legends and stuff like that, they'll have team houses because being in the room together completely changes the dynamic of how you play together.
Indeed. And you know what? I have to take this moment. I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but there will be a Civ LAN in Lyon in February. Have you heard of it?
I have heard of it. I have no idea how to say. How do you say Liege's name? Is it Leg?
Liege.
Liege. Okay, Liege told me about it. It sounds amazing. So there's going to be 100 players playing in Leon, all playing Civ 6 like LAN, like together. You know.
Yes, I can't wait for that event. So I was actually wanted to ask you if you wanna pop in, because it would be amazing to have everybody there. This would be like the first event with a civilization game that we had in so many years. I'm not even sure if we even had one in the communities.
Yeah, no, it sounds amazing. Honestly, if I had the opportunity, I would like to actually go like in person. That would be really, really cool. But I'll definitely like if I, as long as I don't have anything crazy happening, I should be here to be able to cast at least some of those games.
That would be awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. I really, really enjoy it. The only hard part is it happens on weekends, which is like, do I want to like do things on my weekend, or do I want to cast Civ games?
Yeah, there are some during the weekdays also. Most of them actually starting quite late at night. It's like 9 p.m. my time, 1900 GMT.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds rough, but also easier to fit into a schedule.
Yeah, indeed. Like if you have something else to do during the day, you can definitely work on it.
So, I don't think we've talked about Greece or Scythia in a while, have we?
Yeah, we didn't, and that's where I put my screen now. We got Scythia here with those kurgans. Look at the 1-3-3-3s over here next to those two pastures.
Honestly, there's part of me that wants this battle balance mod for my single player games.
You gotta try it. You really gotta try it. I do see him also getting his second expansion phase finished. Pazerik, Chertomblik, Isik, Konsomskaya, Maikop to the north already placed, and he's getting some builders out to chop and of course improve his land. Did go for his by the way, Gavron Plaza with audience chamber. This is another point that I have to talk a little bit about, changes that we did to the Gavron Plaza buildings.
Yeah, so it seems like a lot of people are going for audience chamber. I imagine that's quite strong at the moment.
This is the toll play. So basically you get like 1 amenity, 3 food, and then you get 3 housing in the cities with a governor. And of course you do get the -2 loyalty per cities without governors and +1 governor title. The thing is, this allows you to get at least 1 more district.
Yeah.
In the cities with a governor, and of course that actually can translate into a lot of bonuses.
Absolutely, a +1 district, because normally in the course of play you're probably going to get like maybe 3 districts that are useful before the game ends in a city. But it feels like with audience chamber, you can, or district is, that could have a big difference in your game.
Indeed, and this specializes your empire. That's what we tried to do with BBG, specialize the empires as much as possible with the help of the Gavron Plazas. Ancestral Hall, 50% increased production towards the settlers in the city. New cities receive a free builder towards 1 governor title. I think it was 25 in the base game, but I'm not so sure. I
think that's actually vanilla. That's just straight. That is just so good that they didn't make any changes to it.
Okay,
I am curious about the Warlord's Throne, though. Ooh.
Okay, 25% production towards all naval and land military units, reduces the maintenance cost by 1, and awards 1 governor title. Also increases strategic resource stockpiles by 15.
Now, I like this a lot more than the vanilla bonus, because the vanilla bonus is a 20% production bonus across your empire every time you kill a city. But here's the thing. That only helps you if you're already winning. This helps you get back into it. It gives you more unit production, it gives you cheaper units, and more strategic. So I think this is way better for a multiplayer scene than,
Yeah, I agree. This is basically like the ideal option. Whenever you're going to be in a situation, you have to keep on fighting somebody next to you, and you're like basically on 3 cities, but you need an extreme army size, you're going to go for that. You're going to need the resupply rate, and you're going to need the gold to upkeep the units.
Oh, absolutely, because I'm -1 gold upkeep basically makes like ancient and classical era units free. Yeah. And then if you plug in the maintenance cost card for your civic, then even medieval units will be free, which seems pretty damn good considering the hardest part. I just got a Windows Defender summary pop up. Thanks very much, Windows. I appreciate that. That's a really good way to get me distracted and lose my train of thought. Thanks so much, Windows. What was I saying?
You're talking about the maintenance card, the -1 maintenance card?
Yeah, maintenance cost is a huge thing because again, there's not a whole lot of gold that you can get from working tiles in this game. You're going to be relying on trade routes and stuff like that. So if you can have +1 gold per military unit, essentially, that's going to give you some serious staying power in any kind of attrition war.
Yeah, indeed, makes you live at least until the mid to late game. I do want to point out, by the way, I just found out that Greece got Colosseum here in his capital. Oh, actually, no, his second city. It's the city of Knossos. And by the looks of it, he's going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cities worth of bonuses. Or Athens, is it in range? 2, 4, 6. Yes, it is in range. So it's 6 cities bonuses for that Colosseum. Of course, you do get the extra 2 culture for each city center and the extra amenities that go along with it.
Yeah, 6 city Colosseum is like the perfect ideal.
Yeah, I guess the 7 would be ideal over here to the west side, but he just, couldn't take a city from TaskForceFish. But 6 is amazing. Like, he already is, Noob64 is on 68 culture with 22 science. Does need to catch up a little bit in the science, but that's how usually the Greases go. They're gonna go for a lot more culture.
Greece to me feels like a save that pumps hard on culture and then quickly catches up in science later on.
Yeah, exactly.
They have those. I believe their theater squares are still half price. They do have to be built on hills, though, right? That's the downside.
Yeah. I mean, sure. I'm not sure if it's a downside, but it is definitely something that you need to take into account. He did manage to get a +7 theater square Acropolis next to Knossos, next to that government plaza. Yes.
Those are the kind of adjacency numbers you rarely see in this game. +7 is ridiculous. Wait, where is he getting all that?
It's the government plaza and the entertainment complex. And
oh my god, +7 is insane. Because in my mind, that's only a +4. What?
So it's the +2 base from being next to the city center. It's +2 from entertainment complex. Another point from.
That's right.
Yeah, that's I guess the two ones you're missing, right? Next to the city center.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've played Greece. I guess I tend to go through phases where I play like a single individual civ. I'll go through and I'll play one civ and learn a lot about them. And like if I haven't played Greece in a while, I just forget how they work.
Yeah, I know how it is. I also forget quite a few times the details. I mean, we're talking about 60 plus civilizations in this game, each with like vanilla and mods that update and so on. Sometimes
Absolutely.
You just lose a few details here and there.
And not only that, but you're also talking about like 10 to 20 different unique mechanics that different civs interact with differently. Like, sure enough, district adjacency is one mechanic, but every civ has a different take on it. Like, Japan has a completely different take on it. Certain civs have bonuses. Germany takes different industrial zone bonuses. So it is pretty hard to keep all that on track.
Yeah, indeed. I also want to point out we got 9 more turns until the medieval era, and it looks like the players are preparing themselves for the congresses. I do see a few of those diplomatic quarters starting to appear in the queues of the civilizations, and this is going to be extremely important for the favored generation. And you're going to see the players actually interacting and putting a lot of importance, I should say, on winning the Diplo Congress, either getting the extra 2 Diplo points straight up with the Diplo victory points, or getting advantages from those Diplo options, the trades, for example, or getting extra +5 on a unit, or getting growth on a player or something, double points for great people. All of those are actually just amazing. If you hit them at the correct moment in time, they can win you the game.
Oh, absolutely. The Diplomatic Congress is in single player, it's game changing, but I imagine in multiplayer where you can coordinate votes, and not only that, but coordinate across 4 empires to take advantage of such a bonus. Insane.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, so I do want to check, because this is going to be a race. As we've seen a race for the era score at the beginning, we're going to see a race for the era score for the next era, for the medieval one. It looks like only Noob64 did manage to get over the threshold with 55 out of 53 points. And he keeps on building wonders, by the way. He got pyramids, Colosseum, now he's going for Stonehenge. I'm not sure.
So this is the tourism player, right? He's getting that early, easy tourism from wonders. too.
And the Guams. You gotta take into account the Guams. It's only
Guams.
on 19th though, and this is another change that got made. I'm sorry for interrupting. I got excited.
It's all good.
It's the Great Writers got snipped a little bit. I think in half, if I'm not mistaken.
You know what's funny? The fastest game I ever did was back when Great Writers 4 culture and 4 tourism from Great Works. So they were cut in half, and now this mod they're still so strong they were cut in half again, right?
I think so. I don't remember if Pharesis did it or the mod did it, but I know there was a change in half because it was just they were just too strong as whoever got the first ones, and of course with if you got Pingala double and then Oracle, you basically guaranteed to get all 4 first ones. You would have had so much of an advantage.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. It went because printing doubles the tourism from them, right? So back when they were 4 tourism, you would get 6 tourism per turn from a great work of writing. You could win tourism victories on turn like 60 on online speed. It was crazy.
Yeah, indeed, it was, and we actually ended up with quite a few players that were doing that. So, I mean, we couldn't stop it. We tried, but we just couldn't stop their accumulation of tourism. So we ended up trying to keep on nerfing it until we got to a point that we stabilized it.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. That's the important thing that the Better Balance game takes care of, is that there are a lot of like outlier balance problems that like negatively affect the game, right? That are going to make the game less fun for the players and also just kind of make it so there's less strategies available. And it's just going to snip those things to make them a little bit easier for players to deal with.
Exactly. Actually, we got one of the players that is extremely famous right now talking for the Russian community. His name is Middle Student, and he's well known for one thing and actually 2 things. First of all, settling non-freshwater cities on amenities. That's like his go-to strategy. And second, he was the culture player. So if you caught him front line, he would still try to go for like a set build order, which always took him towards the monumentality and getting a lot of tourism early. And you couldn't stop him mid to late game. But if he was backline, basically it was a guaranteed win 1060. Yeah, like,
Jesus.
It was, he had the build orders in such a perfect way set up in which he was getting that culture victory whatever happened.
That blows my mind because the thing about Civ is order seems like a really hard thing because every time you load into a map, you're presented with a different problem. You know, you might not have a resource that you really, really need for a set build order. But the fact that he could do that, even when he was on the front, when he wasn't a pocket player, that sounds crazy that he was able to pull that off.
I mean, he would have pulled it off if they let him. As in, if he was front line, basically it was attack him and kill him. And most of the time he would have died because he was still building wonders while he was getting horses next to his cities. Like he was so committed, you know.
That sounds like me when I play the game against the AI. I'm like, okay, listen, there's 7 horsemen inside my city, and I have 1 archer, but I really need to finish Stonehenge.
Exactly. I mean, no, let me finish. Okay, we got another wonder here, Oracle, coming up from Ahapahit. First swordsman from the game, turn 50. Can you imagine we actually went 50 turns without seeing a classical unit out? Wow, this is just unbelievable. Oh my god, forest fire. Ponta Delgada lost all of its population. By the way, it's back to 1 population. Basically, everybody burned in that city. But you can imagine, right, what's going to happen here, right? What this land will turn into.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, is that worth it? Because this is a huge tempo loss. You know, you lose all that population you'd built up. And sure enough, you know, over the next, it's going to grow back really, really strong. But dude, I don't know if I even like it when my cities burn down because losing that population, it's so hard to recover from.
Yeah, well, at least he does have Magnus in there, more growth. We'll see how this will develop. He's getting audience chamber, so this city is definitely going to grow back quite soon. It's just a matter of... wait a second, did he go? Oh, he doesn't even have a second district here. Well, this is a bit problematic.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this city is, sure, it's think that things have burnt down and they're going to grow back amazingly, but oof, I don't know how I feel about it.
At least he doesn't have Moksha or Pingala, one of those two that actually get your science and culture and so on.
God, yeah. No, a forest fire in Lisbon would completely cripple his culture right now.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Astikos being the first one up with 78 science and 60 culture. Look at that. He did chop everything. So he was waiting for the chops here in Arpino.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because I had a feeling that if he's in the finals of the World Cup, he's not a bad player. He's just waiting for something.
Very good simmer, by the way. Astikos, very good simmer. He knows the way. He probably just thought, okay, I'm not gonna waste anything. Like even that rainforest, it's good. It's half food, half production, but still, I'm gonna try to get it.
Oh, I think people underestimate how good a rainforest chop is, because that food and the food alone makes up for the fact that you're ruining the tile. You can work another tile, right? You grow population really quick, place another district early. Chopping rainforest, super, super valuable, even without Magnus.
Yeah, I agree. Getting that extra district slot is just so powerful. I do have to point out, looking at the era score screen, we do have the two teams on the left side, of course, zone of control, coming up with most of the players over the normal age threshold, while one of them is over that golden age, Noob 64. On the opponents, on Ulysse, we have most of them not even getting to, actually all of them not even getting to normal age. This is definitely going to need to be changed here in the next period.
Yeah, and this is the second time we've seen something like this happen. It seems like the team on the east side is having just a really easy time generating golden age points or era score, but the western team is having a really tough time, because this is the second time that they've all missed. The first time they got past it due to luck.
Yeah, it was TaskForceFish that gave him the win. Yeah, indeed.
So I know that the very first golden age in multiplayer is huge and super important. How important is that second golden age?
It's same. The third one is not that important. So players do try to go for golden dark into heroic again. So there's some value to that, because first of all, in the first one, you're just gonna get to benefit from these juicy bonuses: pen brush and voice, free inquiry, or monumentality. Second one as well, but then in the third one, you basically have to choose between monumentality and the trade route one. And as you can see, the players already are generating a lot of gold, so it's not going to be that big of a concern for them to get more gold out.
Yeah. Now, one other question I have is maybe missing this golden age intentional from this team?
No, I don't think so.
It would never be intentional?
Sometimes it is intentional if you do want to get some advantages. For example, if you're fighting Mapuche and you don't want to give him an advantage with the extra +5, or you want to get an extra +5 on your own units for the melee units, from the Dark Age card. But I don't think in this scenario it plays out, because they're all going for Divine Right. That means they're gonna get the era score anyway for the next government type, right?
Yeah. I don't know. You know what? I'm going to disagree with you here. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say that they're all getting Dark Ages on purpose because they want to get Heroic Ages next era. Okay.
In the third one, whoa! In the third. Okay. Well, I mean, how are they going to fight the Catapults though? This is look at this. We got TaskForceFish coming up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Catapults in the City of Leeds. With Fleet 1 and.
It's not my job to figure out how they're going to fight 7 Caribous. It's just my job to say that the Dark Age is intentional and then leave, okay? I've done my job.
Well, the Dark Age card can definitely be an advantage here. So for Persia, it's going to give him that extra +5 on his melee units, and that's going to be a thing. But Persia, Ulhas is 1 point away from... Oh, wait a second. Did he just get Monarchy? I'm not sure. It's 40 out of 41. Looks like next turn we're going to figure out if... he just got Hang. So that's normal age for him. That's it. He cannot come back from this. He's not gonna have a Dark Age. So it's either right now, because you in this game, being normal age is just the worst thing ever, right? It's either dark or golden. It's
no one likes mediocrity. Normal age. No, people want to see you either struggle, succeed. Nobody wants to see you just getting along. Let's be real.
Yeah, I agree. Ulhas is also 6 turns away. Oh my god, he just moved towards bronze working. So, oh my god, I'm a bit worried about what's gonna happen here. Ulhas doesn't have a lot of galleys out, and he's starting to build a few of them, but he only has 2 cities that can actually build them properly, and that means he's gonna need the help of somebody else here. I do see Chuck to the west again. JackTheRipper doesn't have a lot of them, and if he keeps on moving away from discovering caravel technology, he's just not gonna hit the correct timing to defend against fish, and they know about this. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, he knows. This is so weird. I wonder what he's thinking.
Yeah, this is. I mean, oh my god! Look at these caravel. Look at the damage against the galley. It's 70 strength caravel with the Rachen Dracola, with the +5 from an admiral, with a military alliance. He's just one-shotting these galleys.
Because he only has 3 turns, maybe 4, to think of a response here. Yes. They lost control of the center of the map straight, and these caravels could end the game right here.
Yes, indeed. Also, I see that Fish brought a settler with him. He wants to get a forward city so he can upgrade later on into other, into like the next tech units, ironclads and so on and so forth, or maybe frigates.
Would he put now? If I was thinking of if I was this England player, I actually wouldn't put this city on the coast because I don't want them to be able to counterattack with boats. Now, is that what you think he's going to do, or what would you do in this situation?
Oh, I think he's going to put it on the coast because he's more focused on getting enough units to withstand any kind of attack. And so basically, you don't want to be on the back foot. You want to be on the offensive all of the time. So
you want to control the tempo of the game and always push. Be the person making the moves because, if you're not having to defend your empire, you're not losing anything, right?
Basically, and that's what's gonna happen here. He's gonna keep on pushing until he breaks one or the other, and I think he has enough units to keep on upgrading on the way. As in, he can definitely build more from his cities. You can see he's going for his production industrial zones coming up from Alpha. I'm certain that he's gonna go also for shipyards. He did go for a great lighthouse, which is another very important one there. One extra movement on all of these caravels. Oh my god, it's just look at this 9 movement caravels.
and that's really big for another reason too, because it means if the enemy has equal tech, they can't chase you down. You always escape.
Yeah, exactly. And
they can't run.
Look at this caravel fleet, 80 strength damage against that galley's 47 with 8 support bonus on it. Like that's just not. And
I'm worried here for Team Persia here. I'm scared.
Yeah, looks like this is. It does look like they lost the coast. I'm not sure if. Okay, let's see it. Let's see the empires here. We got Portugal, of course, with a very strong unique unit. By the way, I'm not sure how it's called. The Now.
The Now. That's the one that can make trading posts. I think it is.
Yes. It has like the unique improvement in the neighborland. He can definitely get a lot of boats out, and he's doing just that with the Victor, and I think it's Victor 3 if I'm not mistaken, because all of his boats already have the one promotion, and Victor does have that. Let me actually double check this. Portugal, Chuck coming out. Okay, let's see. Oh, I can't see governors. Come on, man. Okay. There we go. We got a. I can see the experience screen, so it's like 15-15. So yeah, he's working Victor 3.
Victor 3 seems like it would be a really big deal here. Now, how important is that first free promotion for a lot of different units? I know it's really important for naval units, especially naval melee, because that +7 is crazy strong.
Yeah. For anybody else, maybe for knights or tanks would be really important, because you get the +10 against the fortified units, which basically gives you +4 against them, because they already get +6 from being fortified.
Yeah, it lets you overcome that bonus and do a little bit of extra damage.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt.
It seems like the Sim City phase is well and truly over, and now we're going to be seeing the battle phase, and it looks like England is going to be the one setting the tempo against Persia.
Yeah, and we just switched the era, and we got all of Zone of Control's civilizations in a golden age, while all of the civilizations of Ulysse are in a dark age. This is whoa. I mean, this
one
is
question
crippling.
I have. This looks really, really dire. Like I would, if this was me playing, I would be like, maybe it's time to surrender. How do you think these players are feeling right now?
It's I mean, first of all, you don't want to surrender so fast in a grand final, right? The pressure is going to be on you, so it's definitely not something that you want to take into account as a scenario.
Absolutely.
And I do think they're going to try. Portugal is going to try to get his boats to reposition them and probably take back the cities of Persia. It's going to be hard for England to push through the land with, of course, Mongolia next to him and so on. Mongolia can definitely get a few units out and defend Persia if needed. But in the long term, the biggest question is, okay, maybe we can keep fighting on the seas. What do we do as a winning condition? Because you already see Noom 634 just exploded in culture. We got him on 200 culture with 47 science.
Yeah, that's a crazy amount of culture right now. So I don't think you're going to beat him in a culture victory.
Yeah, this is the biggest thing, right? You can't commit everything to one single attack. You need to do both. Oh, never mind. They just lost England as well. Rome, I mean. We got to the southeast Indonesia. Jska 123 pushing with the help of one single cavalry from TaskForceFish. That's just gonna wipe the floor clean with the Roman cities.
That one caravel is enough to really change the game, because I don't think because Indonesia Jongs are unlocked through the civic tree, so they don't have to unlock caravels like most other civs do, right? To get their frigate tech.
Yes, and of course Jska is probably gonna need niter, but she has some. Let me coordinate on the options here. Let me see, preserve. What don't we have in the game? The city states. Lahore, I think. I think let's go for military, because Lahore is not that big of a deal in this game, at least.
Oh, I see. You guys are splitting the vote because the total amount of votes in a category will actually change the outcome.
Yes, so we're trying to coordinate so we don't we basically nullify our options. We did try to take it as oh, he wants himself. Okay, let me see. Okay, he wants this one to be on him. Sure. So basically we did try to take away the option for the observer mode to vote in Congress, where we couldn't find a decent way to do it. So this is the only option that comes at as easy to
that's
nullify
really
the
unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't know.
It would be super cool. Hey, Civ developers, why don't you make a change, please?
I agree. It would be amazing. I don't have to point out, but I think they, of course, they are aware of what's happening in the communities and so on. I'm pretty sure. And right after we had this problem, they did make the change with the Diplo favor counting as 4 points instead of 10 points, starting from 4 points instead of 10 points. So that actually.
Oh, on online speed, is it?
Yeah. It basically makes every point or every vote count less in the overall scheme, because all of the other players will have a lot more.
That's cool, because it was Diplomatic's favor scaling the same way it does in normal speed on online speed?
Yes, it scales really fast. That's the thing.
There were a few things like that, actually. I believe on online speed, it used to be that promotions, your units would like get promoted after attacking once, which kind of like unbalanced the game a little, right?
Yeah.
But they also changed that to more normal in the base game now, I believe. Oh, Theatre Square production. Now, tell me about the consequences of this vote.
So this is going to be 100% towards production. So basically, you're going to get more. You're going to get more production towards them, as in build them half cost, I believe. That's what it translates into.
Yeah, essentially half cost. Yeah.
The immediate consequences is they can get back into the game by building theater squares. So, for example, if they by a miracle survive the attack of the naval side, they can put down theater squares everywhere and just keep on getting that culture, so they can defend the culture victory. The thing is, you do still need the extra population, so you can put down that theater square. You have the available option, and they are still being pushed by the civilizations that are not going for the culture victory. As in, Fish is basically committed to this. He doesn't do anything other than put production and of course resources into getting the attack done. Jska the same, economy and attack done, doesn't really care about anything else. And from what I can see, Noob is just free simming, while there's nobody free simming here. The only one that quote unquote could be free simming is Portugal, but Portugal will need to step up his game to get the nows. If he doesn't get the nows, it's just his allies are just gonna die.
Yeah, they're in a really tough position because the person who you want to be simming is the only one who can save.
Yeah,
right. That is a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, I guess you can count also JackTheRipper in on the west side, but I think he's gonna be needing to upgrade his units as well to go on the and look at that. Everybody's going for a cartography, right? Everybody wants caravels. That's the concern right now. Even JackTheRipper will need to pump out caravels. He's probably gonna chop quite a few of them. He did settle more cities on the coast, so this is commitment right here. They will need to fight this out. They can't move away from it.
No, this is coming, and they have to. There's no escaping it. You are going to have to fight on the water here. I am kind of surprised that this team, as a collective, didn't suggest that one player has caravels ready, because I don't know much about the tilted axis map, but I would imagine that caravel pushes are like one of the go-to strategies.
Yes, 100%. It's especially when you need a naval situation. Wait, did he just GG? Oh my god, we got a GG. That is the GG. Oh my.
That's it. It's over. Now, if you're that, how do you
I don't know how to say it. No, keep going. I'm shocked right now.
Yeah, like how would you feel? Because like you guys, they had a really good game plan. They had really good empires. They did really well. But then you just look and you see in the horizon 9 caravels coming in to absolutely smash your empire to oblivion, and then you realize you're 8 turns away from caravel tech. That's got to feel really bad. Now, do you think they feel like they made a mistake, or did they maybe just get bad map luck?
I think they didn't commit on the coast as they should have. So it's like I was saying at the beginning of the map, this is one of those maps in which you can't stay away from the coast. So if you commit to the coast, you gotta commit fully. You can't go for the bottom 3, like going for cav push, when you're gonna need to go for the top 3 for calves. For caravels. So
absolutely, that's an important piece of information for maybe new viewers to multiplayer to have, is that almost all of your naval techs are on the top half of the tech tree, so you can't faff about and like dip down to pick up crossbowmen, because you're going to be behind whoever's rushing caravels.
Yeah, I also want to point out, sometimes even players go around apprenticeship to get to that cartography. So it's more important to get cartography technology with the pre-builds and upgrade than actually getting extra production to keep on building them after you got the technology.
Really? Yeah, it does feel like once you hit, I think it's Renaissance era, that's when it becomes better to like pre-build and upgrade, whereas before that, like, building is fine.
Yeah, exactly. And let me see, do we have a post-game chat? We might need to move a little bit in another channel here. I do want to see if we do have a post-game chat, so we're gonna get a few interviews going. It looks like already Zone of Control is in the channel. You want to join me in the CWC server General Voice?
CWC server, let me have a look. Yeah, I'll pop in there. General Voice 1, is it?
Yeah, General Voice 1.
Okay, I'll see you there.
See you.
Wait, was he?
Yeah, apparently that's what's advertised.
Hello, Potato.
Oh, hey, hello.
Hi guys, how's it going?
It's like you knew we were talking about you.
And we were talking about who the casters were joining.
No.
We didn't know you'd be casting.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm glad to get to showcase that amazing game. Now, I'm not super up on which players are which. I think I don't know your names, but one of you was playing Indonesia. I think it was
That was
Jska.
me. Yeah.
Jessica. Yeah. Oh man, I saw that Tordread paint or however you pronounce it, and I was like, dude, that is the most
I know.
amazing. And you let your ally settle half of it. I would have
I know,
never
I'm
let
so
my ally
nice.
settle. No way would I share that one day, dude.
I was begging.
It was closer to his
please.
cap, to be fair, but yeah,
The trade routes between them are very good.
it's true. Also, teamwork makes the dream work. That's how we win. If I denied
true.
that and he was really squashed, because I could sail off to all the little islands, and because I have fishing boats, I can sail settle pretty much anything. Whereas he didn't have a huge amount of space, so it did make sense to give him one amazing settle. I needed it as well after that first remap when I was settled turn 1 on Rorema. Yeah, I was very sad at the first remap, so the Torres on the third one was godsend.
Yeah, a couple of you guys had on the different teams had amazing starts on those first 2 remaps. I was like, dude, I think it was the Mongolia player, JackTheRipper. He probably was like, dude, please don't remap on that second one. He had like the most incredible start
I'm
ever.
so glad we remapped.
We were
10
doomed.
tiles from Persia. I'm very glad we remapped.
Yeah, Immortals would have killed Indonesia if we kept the the second map.
Unfortunately, this one is so bad for us because on our side we have no wonder, no city-states, no foreign trade boost.
Tilted
no
axis
political
seems to be a
boost.
bit like that, doesn't it? One
Wait.
side gets a bit
No,
more.
usually it's like 2 versus 2 on each continent, and
I don't know.
this
We
one
played a
is
lot
like
of
4.
6v6 tilted axes yesterday, and on all 3 of the ones we loaded, one side had all the wonders and one side didn't.
But on CWC we used to play this map not a lot, but quite sometimes, and usually it's 2 versus 2. But
So we were lucky.
this map generation wasn't great for us.
The first one was because
We-
it was a Firaxis placement, was crazy. So 2 of
Yeah.
us spawned on wonders.
Tordread was on the Fountain of Youth with his settler.
I
I was
spawned
on
on
the
the
do you know
I had
we
my
all
plant
got
in turn 3.
Do you know we all got golden because we met Indonesia on the last turn of first era?
Oh,
And you declared war. That's why they
Yeah.
got golden, because you declared war.
oh
Yeah,
no way.
but without wonder, without anything, without continents, we all
Wow.
didn't made it to the second one. So.
But you did have Amphia Yokul. Rome did get that amazing wonder settled quite early in the third city, I believe.
Yeah, the volcano,
Yeah.
Tundra volcano.
GG, guys.
GG.
I would like to know what do you guys think went right or wrong for you in that game for the winners and losers. I don't know who's who, so I'm still
We
learning.
struggled a lot from the beginning to get goldens. First of all, we had very little era score available, and we had to do like many bad things to get it, each of us.
Yeah, what do you mean by bad things? Like suboptimal, right?
Well, yes.
For example, for me, I was playing on Portugal. For me, I was playing on Portugal. I went Amani first in the yellow city state. I don't remember the name. But usually, when you are a coastal city, you don't go Amani because it's delay a lot on the other governors.
I thought you'd guys find it easy because you had so much money. I thought gold made it so much easier for you.
Well, we
They
had
also-
money.
Yeah,
you
but
mean
when
for the
it-
second golden?
They also had harder civs. Like we had England with +4 for Royal Dockyard. I had Kurgan and Saka.
Yeah, I get
potential
campons and Johns.
campon.
So.
Dude,
But you also you get
England cranked out like 4 great admirals in like 10 turns, and then I saw
Yeah.
Portugal be like, wait a minute, we can't let them get any more.
Did you get faith in a hut for England?
What did I get?
No.
I ran God King, I believe, and then I think I just passively got it, right?
Yeah, you
I
did.
think I didn't get any kind of hut for it. I just
We didn't
got it.
actually have many huts at all on our island. But...
Oh, I know what it was. I got an earlier God King because I got the quest in Rapa Nui, like basically when we met it, like the turn after we met it.
we did
It was
have-
the boost for astrology, and so that's like Kappa Monument. I got to Code of Laws, I think 2 turns. So that's what got me the extra faith, I guess, advantage on War and Plunder.
Yeah,
Interesting.
the most
So
useless
is
Matterhorn in the world, entirely surrounded by mountains with 1 tile.
I'm not super familiar with the multiplayer scene, so I imagine like first Pantheon is a big deal. So like
Yes.
fighting over that.
there's a lot of pantheons that are like altered to be a little bit more valuable in the mod.
Yeah, I saw like Lady of the Reeds and Marsh. It seems like it's kind of nerfed, but also way more actually useful.
Yeah,
It's a very rare thing what happened though, because I don't think like I've played a tilted axis with a 4v4 like this.
At the beginning, my mind was locked in. Somebody needs to have some kind of adjacency to an enemy, and I thought Persia was going against Mongolia. And when I found out that it's actually East versus West, I was like, oh no! I mean, we're just gonna not gonna have any action. Like really?
Yeah, I think it really hurts Mongolia specifically because Mongolia can be anywhere near land on someone. It can be a huge disruption, and without it, has very few bonuses.
Yeah, that was something we talked about it. Both of what are arguably the most aggressive civs on each team were pockets. You had no access to the enemy at all.
That was one of the main reasons we used our remap, because on that second one, Tordread and Scythia was completely free sim. He was free sim in the end anyway, but we thought we'd at least roll the dice one more time.
Yeah, that seems like a really hard decision to make, because you might be in like a bad situation on one map, but then you remap and does it happen often that you just get a way worse one?
It can happen.
We had pretty bad spawns on the second map though, so it was pretty fair.
Mine was awful.
Yes.
And that's something you guys probably super prioritize. Like anything less than like a 2-2 capital is trash, I imagine.
You can make a lot of things work. Depends on like the surrounding land, your position regarding other players. So like Indonesia being so close to Persia with like probably 2 expands is not good. And then I was on Scythia and I had desert settles or settles without any 2-2s, even though my cap was good.
I think it's also a little bit of niceness from my team, because I probably would have died there, but actually the 3 of them probably still could win a game. But because it's the only game I'm playing this weekend for it, they would remap for me. So I think it's a bit of bias.
There's a bit of bias there. That's so cool. I like the team energy. That's really, really cool. I like that you guys all work together.
We're the nice guys, except I'm horribly toxic sometimes, but overall we're a really nice team.
Hey, listen, high five. I'm a toxic gamer too, okay? The second I start losing, I'm typing in chat. It's happening.
We've just had a baby, so she slept through this one because we just convinced her it was nighttime. She only woke up for about 10 minutes, and so just a fight again, she was back asleep, so I was excited.
Yeah, congratulations and fair play to you for playing with a small child. That must be tough to balance all that.
It's why Fish doesn't stream at the moment, because you'd have him, the baby screaming in the background, and me just getting flappy.
I just noticed the notification, and it looks like in 10 more minutes we're gonna have the next game started soon. So the Civ and the lobby and so on and so forth. So there we go, back to back. Are we gonna have the same roster available for the second game?
Synth is playing instead of me.
Okay, you take care of the baby. Okay, got it.
Exactly.
And on the side of Ulysse, Jack, Astikos, are you gonna play with the same roster?
Yes.
Cool.
Well,
okay.
How do you feel about Ledge abandoning you to go cast and whatnot?
Well, it's really good. It's promoting the game, you know?
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
in our team, we have 2 of the players right now in the roster who discovered Civilization because they saw a cast from Zerator and Ledge a year or 2 ago.
Oh, brilliant.
So like the reason why there's so many French players in the French community to begin with is because these guys cast sometimes.
Yeah, it is huge in France, isn't it?
Dude, it's crazy. He's got 20k viewers playing Civ. This dude's absolutely wrecking me right now.
I think he's literally the biggest French streamer.
Oh, is he? That's really, really cool. We get to rub shoulders with some pretty interesting.
Or if not first, he's like second, you know.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because I would never expect a Civ stream to go above 1,000 viewers because like it's not really a streamer game, I feel like. But damn, dude,
yeah, it doesn't usually have the excitement, does it? And because it's so long.
It is. Well, yeah. I would. Yeah.
There's it's a learning curve.
I never thought I would watch Civ streams and stuff. I used to call everyone massive nerds and used to think it was the saddest thing in the world. And now, like with the squadrons and stuff, Fish and I will like settle in with our dinner to watch a Civ stream together. Like, my life has changed. Just terrible.
That's
I've
brilliant.
become a great nerd.
Yeah, because I always thought of like Civ as a VOD game, right? You know, people watch the edited video because no one wants to sit through all the boring bits. But damn, apparently
Some
people
are great
do.
to watch. And you know what? JackTheRipper is one of the people. He's quite good to watch. He's so funny.
I have seen his streams. I think I've hosted him a couple of times. I have seen his stream. He's popping off too. I think he's up to a
A little
good view
bit less
count,
family
too.
friendly than you, I think.
Yeah, listen, I'm plenty not family friendly, okay? Just because I've got a cute avatar doesn't mean I don't say fuck every now and again, okay?
Just watch his YouTube videos.
I mean, dropping some F-bombs is one thing, but, you know.
Oh, yeah, maybe I don't go that far.
I do want to ask, do you think you could have done differently? Like if you would have played this game, like this exact map, and this, I guess, is a question directed at Astikos and Chuck. Do you think you would have picked different civilizations here?
Well, you know, it's always, I think, a question of preferences from the players. Like, for example, I would have preferred Scythia over Mongolia in the first rotation, you know.
I think you outdrafted us, though, with Portugal. Like, that's our
We
mistake.
forgot it existed, didn't
You
we?
probably should have won this game if the map didn't
I
go
think
like
it's
this.
the first time we saw Portugal in CWC.
Completely
Because
forgot
it
it
used to
existed.
be banned every time.
But
Yeah,
overall,
we're
I think
used to
our
play.
composition is good and their composition is good as well. It's just here, it's really hard because we have less naval civilizations and more flexible ones, and we end up in a purely naval warfare. And we're like me and Persia are front of naval civilizations. We are good start on the coast. We have our capitals inland.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, so
Difficult,
Rome
man.
and Persia settled off coast for their capital.
Yeah,
It looks
I think
like.
the positioning was really good for us, and that was what mostly won us that game.
I think me and
We try to make a play on Portugal, where we buy him a settler, you know, and try to buy all his roads and give him like good tempo for the late game. We were hoping, you know, we could like see like a super strong late game Portugal.
Yeah, funnel him.
And like he was gonna get a lot of level 3 boats with Victor 3, you know, you take galleys, level 1 and then level 2, and then you can get level 3 with the terracotta. So we were trying to set up some things like this for the late game, but it's like when we started to see England at 8 admiral points like very early on, and the turn 20, 25, I don't know, very early city-state capture, you know, it starts to suck. You see, okay, the guy has a Pantheon, he has 4 ports, it's gonna be gigantic pressure on admirals. You have to, like, I couldn't get one, like it have the production, and Portugal has to erel himself to get one, and Persia couldn't get one, I think.
Yeah, I was just about to buy the Ironclad Admiral just as you CC'd.
You guys,
I think
one
even with
question I have.
Ironclad Admiral, with my level 3 boats, I can beat you on sea, but since Task
I think it's
is
just
going
overwhelming
to
numbers, though. There's 2 of
destroy
us.
our economy on north,
Yeah.
that's why we CC.
One question I do have is that, you know, I imagine
Also,
on a tilted axis map, a caravel push is like a pretty common strategy. So
Yeah.
you guys must have known that was coming, and was it just a matter of like you just couldn't get to the prep time, like to respond in time? Is that just simply?
Well, for example, me on Rome, we say that it would be Portugal bringing over the boats early on, but it's like it was difficult to achieve in timing.